What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I am your host, Nick. It's Halloween. We're dressed as doctors. Hey, everybody. Natalie has her real scrubs on.
I have on pre-baby scrubs, and they are incredibly tight. They would not be allowed in the operating room.
What do you mean?
Oh, my God, no. These are way too tight.
Have you ever...
Do you not remember this?
I do remember. Yeah. No,
that
was rhetorical.
Oh.
Have you ever been shamed?
No, 100% I have. When I was in college and I was doing my clinical rotations, we had to wear purple scrubs so that everyone knew that like we were students, whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. I had I don't know. I'm a woman. My weight had fluctuated. I bought scrubs when maybe I was feeling a little skinny and then maybe had a little bit too big of a meal. Maybe I was a little bloated. I don't know, but they were tighter than normal. Anyways, only had one pair of scrubs, had to wear them. And at the end of the day, we would like meet up with our professors and they'd be like, okay, this is like the feedback we got from the doctors. And in front of everyone else, my teacher was like, Natalie, your scrubs are too tight. I was like, what? And she was like, everyone has come up to me and had a problem with it. And I was like, what do? I only have one pair of scrubs. Like, are y'all going to pay for a bigger pair? And she was like, no, but you need to figure it out because these are inappropriate. Oh. I was like, okay, perfect.
Wild.
Literally my first day in the operating room. I was like, this is perfect. Thank you very much.
What kind of operating room was it?
Well, you can't distract the doctors with a great ass.
It was, I don't remember
Apparently.
the surgery. I think it was like ENT or something.
You know it was a jealous feedback.
Oh, for sure.
It wasn't from the people like actually checking you out. It was from the people not wanting you to be checked out.
I guess so. I don't know. But yeah, so it's very much like your scrubs have to be loose. They cannot be form-fitting. You cannot wear perfume. You cannot wear jewelry. You cannot wear. It's a very.
Is that like a real thing, or is that just like a busybody hospital person?
What do you mean?
Well, that seems ridiculous. But like you're saying it as if it's like like across the board.
What we were taught is that like if you're wearing perfume or lotion and you go into the operating room where it's like incredibly sterile, and then everyone's like, well, is that vanilla something from Bath and Body Works? Like, what is that? You know?
Like, what if it drips into the wounds of like?
Well, that
the
makes
patient?
sense. I'm just talking about slightly tight scrubs that were, like.
It also, I mean, you're also wearing a gown over your scrubs in surgery, so it's like you can't even.
That's true.
You can't even see anything.
Is there a dress code for people in the operating room in regards to scrubs? Because I've seen like doctors or nurses that have like kitties and like themed scrubs.
It's usually like color coordinated. It's like nurses. If you're in like corporate hospital, it's like nurses wear dark blue. Okay. Doctors wear,
a different color to stand out.
Everyone wears a different color.
You know where there's no dress code though?
Where?
On the set of Nicole Kidman's new movie.
Oh, baby girl, because she is tired of faking.
Orgasms.
I don't think she was faking. I think she said the amount of like touching, she was actually orgasming and she needed a break from the orgasm.
Wait, do we know which one it was?
It was that one. I read the article. I read a lot of articles about it because I was very interested because Keith Urban was like, Nicole, just tell me where the clit is and I can do it. If you just tell me where it is. That's all you have to do.
Is she just that good at acting though?
Who is her co-star?
He's the same guy that was in that movie where they were on the yacht.
Triangle of Sadness.
Triangle of Sadness.
Mm-hmm.
He was the model. Harris Dickinson. He was the model, and then him and his like girlfriend went on the yacht together.
Woody Harrelson.
That was a terrible movie.
You didn't like it?
I wanted to love it.
Yeah.
What did you like? It just everyone's puking.
Yeah, it's Gilligan's
spoil.
Island on steroids.
I enjoyed it.
You know,
it was.
Once they got to the island, oh my God, Harris Dickinson, and then the woman and their relationship. I just thought it was good class commentary. A little on the nose, but I love that.
It was dark.
I will say Nicole Kidman said there were times when we were shooting where I was like, I don't want to, and this is in brackets, imitate orgasms anymore. So she could have been faking it technically.
Method acting.
But I think there was a lot of like
too much O-face.
I think there was a lot of like sexual tension and a lot of this like turning her on for sure. She was turned on.
She's into it.
She was into it.
I'm just wondering how Keith Urban feels about this.
Yeah,
because he could have been like, "Hey, you're an actor. Couldn't you just fake it?"
No. He says that he very much separates his wife from the stuff that she's in. He looks at the stuff she's in not as like, "Oh, that's my wife," but as like, "Oh, this is art."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I guess if she was like, "I'm too tired from faking an orgasm," then like, it's like pop off. My lovely wife's a great actress, and that can be tiring. Because I'm assuming many of you had been exhausted from faking. Is it exhausting to fake one?
Honestly, yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I
It is
imagine.
it is performing.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Whether it's a real one or a fake one, it's exhausting either way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
What's more exhausting?
probably faking it because you're like, get this fucking over with.
You're like,
Yeah,
"I gotta
there's
do
too
a
much
good job."
thinking. Yeah, you're like,
you're
was
just trying
that
to make someone happy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And then you're like in your head a little bit like, "Ugh, should I have not done that last like eye roll? Was that like too much? Is that when he caught on that it was fake?
I wonder if Keith Urban like watching those, like, I know the difference. Because some men
I don't know.
don't know the
Because
difference.
literally
But
That's what I'm
Dax-
saying. If she's
real?
having real,
Dax Shepard just said that he watched Nobody Wants This, and he said she doesn't kiss me like that. I didn't even know she knew how to kiss like that.
Oh.
So there's a little
Okay,
bit of
Dax.
contrast.
Right. Keith Urban is watching this and he's like, oh, is that what a real orgasm looks like then?
is Dax
Keith Urban.
projecting?
I've seen that
Yeah.
move before.
He was like, it's gonna
Well,
be a
it was
long,
very
hot
much
summer.
Dax jokes. So
Oh,
I think,
okay.
yes,
Yeah.
this was very much a joke.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha.
You know, like,
Dax is very
whoa,
funny.
what is that? I've never seen a kiss like that. Must be nice, type of thing.
But Nicole and Keith they're good. They're healthy. They're in a good
Yeah.
place.
Well, okay, Nicole did say on top of this quote saying, "Don't come near me. I hate doing this. I don't care if I'm ever touched again in my life." So Keith Urban might not be getting it anymore.
If I were Keith, I would be a little.
I'm like, me included.
Well, maybe it's like, don't come near me. You're not my husband.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like,
Yeah.
ugh, I'm too tired
I
of.
think this is.
I
the
feel
sign
like
of a
when
healthy
women
relationship.
don't want to be
Yeah.
touched, I don't think we want to be touched.
Oh,
by
and respect.
anyone.
Period.
Yeah.
By anyone, including the people you love.
Yes.
Correct.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Like dogs.
More so.
Anything. Like if I'm in a mood and Steve's like, I'm like, get away from me. I cannot throw the ball for you. I can't. It's not in me to throw the ball. I have to lay here for a moment. I can't. But he is the sweetest little angel.
We got some exciting news. Well, at least for the families and the supporters, the families of the Menendez brothers and the supporters of the Menendez brothers. It's been announced they will get a new. Well, it was recommended they get a sentencing. I don't know what that means. Does that mean they're going to get a new sentencing, or are we in step 1 of 20 steps? Do we know?
The DA filed a petition to resentence Eric and Lyle Menendez, opening the possibility of parole for the brothers serving life sentences for the murder of their parents. So it's a petition.
What's a petition?
So he's petitioning the court. So it's up to like the court to reopen it.
I feel like this is a big deal. Has anyone said in the news whether?
Here's what happens next. The judge
Oh,
will
thank you.
either accept Gascon's recommendation or reject it, depending on whether he believes the brothers have been rehabilitated or if their release is in the interest of justice. If he agreed to hand down a new sentence, he wouldn't be bound by the one presented to him and could choose something different. If the judge reduces the sentence, the brothers could become eligible for parole because they are under 26 at the time of the crime and had served over 25 years already. State correction officials say the parole board would then have 6 months to schedule a parole hearing. If the parole board agrees, they should go free. Then the case goes to Governor Gavin Newsom, who will have the final say.
Gav has the final say.
He's the governor.
Why do we
Gav.
have to go through all these steps?
It's the court system.
Welcome to the legal system.
But they don't have to. They could just do their job.
Well, this was like a murder life sentence type of thing. So I feel like maybe
No,
they're
no,
like,
no.
let's just take all steps.
Protocol.
Yeah, let's just run.
But
run
that
through
that
protocol
that
on
sounds
this
like
one.
bureaucracy to me. I get it. But they've been in prison for how
I mean,
long? I mean, this is not like
But they probably need to be like evaluated, whatnot. They've been in prison for 25 years. They are in prison for brutal murders.
by all means
So it's like, can you come back
evaluate
into
them.
society?
evaluate them. But I guess what I'm saying is I doubt very much that they're going to be taking 6 months to evaluate them. My guess is these things they just. What you were just talking about? We recorded the court date for, and I understand it's a different case, but my point is, it's like there's no reason why the Ariana, Raquel, and Tom Sandoval's court date needs to be scheduled for next year in 2025.
End of 2025.
It's just
yeah.
like let's put them in the docket. I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I'm just saying if we really think these boys, men, the Menendez brothers, were abused and maybe didn't get the sentence that they deserved. Shouldn't we like expedite the process to get these guys who've already served 30 plus years of prison? And if we are going to let them out, maybe we should get on it.
Ideally, yeah.
Seems, I don't know.
I'm sure because it's such a big topic of public interest too, I'm sure that will expedite the process.
I imagine the judge is definitely going to greenlight it because no one wants to look like the bad guy here. The court of public opinion is really going to decide whether these brothers get.
Kitty Menendez's brother did speak out against this and felt very offended that this was even a topic of conversation to let them be free.
Wait, so Kitty Menendez's brother, but Kitty Menendez's sister wants them out. Is that correct?
I haven't heard that. So I don't know.
I'm pretty confident that Kitty Menendez's sister very much wants the boys to be released. And then so recently, one of the former bandmates of the very popular band Menudo, the Menendez father, the the guy who's been accused of sexually assaulting his sons, allegedly also essayed this young man as well, which would corroborate the Menendez Brothers story. So that's...
You know Ricky Martin got to start from being in the band Menudo?
I do. Yeah.
Ricky Martin, not to be confused with Martin Short. He was in love with Meryl Streep.
You guys, I've been waiting for my moment to talk about this.
Oh my God.
Martin Short and Meryl Streep are pretty much officially dating.
And this isn't for
No.
clicks, as they say?
No.
I mean, it could
You
be.
think Meryl Streep needs clicks?
No.
No, but maybe she wants a...
I think she wants like a chic situationship with like the funniest, most charming guy in the room.
Have you seen the photos of her driving him around?
Yes.
Iconic.
Have you seen the
I
photo
haven't.
that Steve Martin posted on his Instagram where it's a picture of the three of them and he put a like X over his face?
Didn't Steve Martin have a relationship with Meryl Streep in a movie?
Yes, and
Wasn't it
it's
called-
complicated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Weren't they like a thing?
Yeah, well,
She
in
like
an-
remodeled his house or something?
yes, and Alec Baldwin was also there. Yeah. Nancy Meyers classic.
Okay.
But
But not Steve Martin and Meryl Streep because they seem like a pair. Martin
well,
Short.
Steve Martin is married. I
Is he?
think.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I'm not keeping up with their relationship life.
Martin Streep. Did you guys? So
Martin is short.
Martin Short and Meryl Streep.
Martin Short and Meryl Streep. Did you guys hear about when they were at the Golden Globes, I believe, last year, where Selena Gomez was whispering to Taylor Swift
And
about
people
something?
thought that they were like cheesemaying rumors
Talking about
Yeah.
Kylie and
Yeah.
Timothy.
Kylie
yeah.
and Timothy, and then Selena Gomez commented on like somebody like saying they were spilling. She was like, "I was just talking about two of my friends that hooked up," and people were like, "That is definitely
Meryl
about
Streep.
Meryl Streep and
Meryl
Martin Short."
and Martin.
And this is where the rumors started, and it's just been like a soft launch after soft launch. But I can pretty much, in my heart, confirm.
Do
that
we
they're
have any
together.
pictures of them holding hands or?
I can pull them up.
No, they've hard launched their relationship.
Pretty much.
I mean, like the going out on a date and like her driving
It's
him.
the dates, yeah. So technically, there's no
So
official
cute.
like announcement, but do we need it?
I feel like Steve Martin crossing his face out of a photo of the three of them kind of.
But it's Steve Martin making the announcement, you know?
Like, look at them.
I mean, Martin
Powerful.
Short is iconic. I mean, they both obviously
Jiminy
are iconic.
Glick?
Jiminy Click is
Like
hilarious.
Franck.
He's one of the funniest men ever.
He really is.
Franck
Franck?
from Father of the
Here's-
Bride.
Yes, here's my pitch for the next Nancy Meyers rom-com. It's Father of the Bride Part 9 or something, and Franck has fallen in love, and now
Yeah,
Steve
when does Franck get
Martin
married?
Exactly, and now Steve Martin has to
Plan
like
the wedding.
plan the wedding.
Yeah.
But it's Franck, and then the woman who would love Franck, played by Meryl Streep, and it would be incredible.
Wow,
So
there's your
Nancy
pitch.
Meyers, if you're listening, hit
Okay.
me up.
They're giving older people finding love and having sex representation, and I respect that
They are.
because I think people see Meryl as this like older Hollywood like
They're giving it's never
person.
too late.
Mhm.
exactly.
They're giving like you can be funny and like bag a baddie.
Do you think they were watching the
Bag
Golden?
of baddie.
Do you think they're watching the Golden franchise and thought we too deserve love and we should give it a shot?
Well, they could have watched
Yeah.
Gary's season.
Do you think they were inspired?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think Martin was like, I could do better than Gary.
Yeah.
I think they
Yeah.
were around Selena Gomez and she was singing like "Love Me or Lose Me" or whatever that song is.
Mm,
That one song.
I need you to lose you to love me.
that one, and then
Yeah.
they were like, you know what? Why lose you?
I love you like a love song, baby.
That one too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I keep hitting repeat.
Was that her?
Do you think she
Yeah.
has to take breaks because they're
I don't.
Selena
so
Gomez?
intense? No.
Oh.
Meryl.
I
Do you
don't
think
think.
Martin
I don't
Short's
think.
like a
I don't
cat in the
think.
bed?
I don't think
That-
either of them need breaks. I think they're both just
Just
Trained professionals.
stamina is high. They
Yeah.
are working.
take their heart pills before.
I don't even know if they're on heart pills. They're so
I don't
healthy
know.
looking.
Yeah. I love that we're talking about Meryl Streep getting dicked down by Martin Short right now. It makes me so happy.
I will say I did see a post of Selena Gomez this weekend in her Halloween costume, Alice in Wonderland, and she turned her comments off. But I was like, she looked hot, and she was with Benny Blanco.
Yeah.
And I think people were roasting Benny Blanco, being like, "You're so hot,"
Everyone's so mean.
and
to
not
them.
him. So then she literally had to like mute her comments, and I was like,
They're not always muted.
well, she
Yeah, they
limits
are.
them a lot of the time.
They're limited.
Yeah, limited a lot of the time.
Honestly, that I feel like if
That is
you
the
are a
move.
celebrity, that's the move. Like, why give people a platform to have dialogue under your personal
Yeah.
photos? Like,
Yeah.
that's so weird.
Especially with how mean people are to Selena Gomez.
Or
Yeah,
even anyone.
truly
Or
anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, correct. Selena
Yeah.
Gomez.
And
However.
then Dancing with the Stars, we have Gleb Savchenko and Brooks Nader. Have you seen this whole
Yes.
alleged
Yeah.
affair, whatever you want to call it.
He's trying to soft break up with her.
Brooke Snyder, she posted a TikTok basically with a caption, "When he's breaking up with me, but I never knew we were dating." So she posted that, and then we have a source close to Gleb that spoke out that said,
Wait,
Gleb-
but what do you mean she didn't know?
well, this is what she posted.
Well, I guess
that
they
was her
never had a
TikTok.
conversation of like, hey, we're dating.
So she had, it's
Okay.
vague. Nobody
And-
knows.
And then he was like, hey, I think we should break up. And she's like, I didn't even know we were dating.
No,
Get
I mean,
You get
do you
it?
really think that? But yeah,
You
no,
get it?
I get what she's
Oh, okay.
saying for sure.
He just thinks it's a bit.
yeah,
Call her
but
up.
I'm just
Yeah.
like wondering.
Well, they're both very much playing this game.
Yes.
Teasing.
So it is kind of giving like, okay, we're continuing on with the.
Well, so a source close to Gleb said Gleb got way too comfortable, especially in the amount of time he was spending at Brooke's home, to a point that it begun to concern Brooke's people and family close to her. He wanted to get ahead of the situation and decided to initiate a breakup. He ended things via a text.
Why were they concerned?
We don't know.
Kind
This
of a
sounds
weird
very
thing
much
to say when you're
like-
like just hooking up with somebody. Like, we're very concerned. He's at our house a lot.
Also, grown ass adults.
It's like literally,
Literally.
like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It just they
She
did it
also-
for the bit.
She
Now they
also
are off the
posted
show.
like something about how she shouldn't have gotten matching tattoos.
Yeah, I saw
So
that.
With they got matching tattoos.
They did get
they
matching
got matching tattoos.
So maybe that's why everyone's concerned. Because that's moving
Honestly,
a little
That's a
fast.
concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
That is
very
valid.
Kyle
if
Richards
Morgan
and
Wade,
Morgan
I was
Wade.
saying Morgan Wade and Kyle Richards
Yeah.
can do it, then I guess
Yeah.
it means nothing.
Two pairs of close friends.
Yeah. Which the Beverly Hills season 14 trailer came out. Did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
No.
I need to
Messy.
see it.
Should we watch
Yeah.
it?
We
Yes.
did get dinner with Crystal, Minkoff, and her
Mhm.
husband Rob,
Rob. Ugh.
who he is so cool.
Ah,
First of all,
I'm
they're
s-
about. We had so much fun. They are so fun to talk to and hang out and like listen to their life because they have such crazy lives. Did y'all know that Rob like came up with Ursula?
Yes.
Did y'all know that he directed The Lion King?
Yeah.
Yes. And
Oh.
Haunted Mansion.
Mhm.
I asked him because
And Stuart Little.
I asked him.
Yeah.
I didn't know he directed Stuart Little.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he did direct Stuart Little. That was the first thing I found out about
Sorry,
him, and I
sorry.
was like,
Wait, Natalie was asking him.
I
Sorry.
asked
And
him.
then I just had to.
I asked him because clearly like this is the man to ask about Disney movies.
Everything.
Like,
Yes.
everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what was the first movie you showed your children? Important question.
What was it?
Dumbo.
Oh my god.
Interesting.
He was like, it's not too much going on. It's simple, it's easy, but it's good.
not the
movie
Tim
made me-
Burton Dumbo.
Both of them made me really sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I did ask
mom?
him about the alleged sexual content that somehow finds its way.
Oh,
in
Little
some of
Mermaid and
these-
stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what did he say?
He said that which I actually thought this was it's just like, yeah, I think it's individual animators potentially going rogue.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
but
the
not
one-
but not like some sort of like
It's
company-wide conspiracy theory where they
Yes.
decide to go. You know, if you don't know that you're looking for it, you won't notice it, which is kind of the thing.
Kristen
Yeah.
about all
Bell just came out, did a video talking about how she
Frozen.
like helped create the character of Anna. And in the song, it says like, "Why have a ballroom with no balls?" And like very much on point of like having a ball. But she's saying, "I can't believe that we got that in there. Like it's a funny joke, but we didn't know
Mhm.
like."
She had to convince the
Yeah.
producers or
To
the
keep
execs
the line
to
in
keep
the
it
song.
yeah.
So it's like they make little innuendos, but it's not to like, I don't know, infiltrate your children's mind and pollute it. They're just like,
Well-
no, it's a
No.
funny inside joke for adults.
He was saying that like, you know, the smoke in The Lion King that like people say
Yeah,
it says
sex. Yeah.
He said he like went and asked that animator, and that animator was like, no, it's SFX, like special effects.
'Cause
Like
that
I
guy,
was doing
that, guy
like
works,
the
that guy works for the
He works
special
at
effects
special
That guy
effects.
is
He was like,
literally
"No, I
just
was
trying to
doing-
be like,
He's like, I was shouting myself out.
yeah, he was like, I just want like one modicum of respect from this big corporation, and now people think I'm trying to like get children into sex.
yeah.
That's
But
that's
the
exactly
the
how
Little
those things
Mermaid
go.
when the priest is
The boner.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's deliberate.
Did you guys talk about how Ursula was based off of the
Yes.
Drag Queen Divine?
Yes,
Yeah.
he told me that.
Yeah.
And then he showed us photos, and I was like,
Yeah.
that is.
Y'all should watch Pink
Because
Flamingos.
They originally wanted her to be like,
A hottie.
no, who was the actor? Who was the woman they were like basing her off of? She was like skinny, had a big forehead, and he was like, "This isn't." He's like, "I just don't see this vibe." And so
I'm-
then that's when he
I'm
like
envisioning
he
Allison
drew-
Janney, but I know that's not
Yeah.
right.
That's so fucked
I
up.
love her.
I
love you, Allison Janney.
Allison, if you're listening, we love you.
No, I literally love her.
No, but and then they had like 4 different Ursulas on like drawn out, and
Mhm.
whoever was head of.
She's so iconic.
He came in and he chose Rob's, and he was like, that one.
Kid Nick was very
Oh, yeah.
excited because Kid Nick wanted to be a cartoonist for Disney and used to draw like Simba and Mufasa all the time.
You
so.
still could, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Never
definitely
too late.
definitely never too late. But it was
Yeah,
still
but
the
Connect-
next best thing was having dinner with the guy who directed Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
It
Truly.
was very cool.
So, anyways, I had an amazing time at dinner just listening to them. So I will be listening to Humble Brag going forward just to get my fix of Crystal Minkoff.
And you can too because
Mhm.
it's out right now. It's on every Monday. Be sure to check it out wherever you listen to podcasts.
I will say,
yeah.
I was talking to Crystal, and I'm glad that her and Rob aren't on the season of Housewives for Beverly Hills, because if you watch the trailer, it's the season of breakups and the season of like cheating. No, maybe not cheating, but like acting like you're not in a relationship, being single,
Mhm.
divorced, whatever it may be, because this trailer is messy.
Rob did say he
Really?
ran into PK not too long ago and asked him
Mm.
if they are really separated.
And are they?
And Rob gave a very cryptic answer to Rob. It seemed like it was unclear if
Crystal said on our podcast that they are together.
It's
Okay.
giving PK is Tamra Judge.
PK is like a
PK is like, I'm going to make
yeah.
some drama for this
Mm.
season.
PK is
Like,
giving
he's
more Jen's
behind.
husband to me. Jen
Coach-
Pedranti.
Ryan.
Mm.
Ryan. Because I feel like this.
Okay,
we can watch.
let's
the separation
watch,
to me
let's
is
watch,
Dorit,
Let's
but
watch. Woo!
I got chills like
Oh
3
my
times
God,
watching
it was
that.
so
So
good.
good.
Jennifer.
We've got to make our
Tilly.
promos like that. Like, I want chills from our promos.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That was good.
Do you think they're going to come for Kyle?
Oh, for sure.
It's about time.
So Kyle's like, she's the longest running housewife, right?
Yeah.
As of now. So it's like, Crystal said it was her show. Like, I think her time is up. Maybe not up, but
That's
like
kinda
people aren't going to
sad.
come for her.
I love Kyle.
Me
Yeah.
too. I do too.
I love
But I also
Kyle.
love,
You said it like,
Yeah.
yeah, they are though.
well, because I love the rest of the cast more.
Oh.
Like, I think
See?
Kyle,
But Kyle's the protagonist.
yeah, I love Kyle, but I think she's like gotten comfortable, and I think it's time
Yeah.
to like stir the pot, and she's the pot that's being stirred.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't we feel like her life stirred enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you think it's who's stirring it? Her?
I don't know.
Well,
who
Kyle
has a
knows
hand
how to
in her
make good
pot.
television. So.
Kyle
Yeah.
doesn't.
Kyle's in control of her narrative.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't give victim.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's why what I appreciate about Kyle is that she's always the protagonist, but like isn't like victim-y always protagonist.
Who's our new housewife?
Bosma.
Where?
Yeah.
Netflix executive.
She
She's.
is?
I think she's gonna kill it.
Whoa, Netflix executive.
She was
Ooh.
an
Or
exec-
former.
Former. Yeah.
Okay.
But like a legit. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if this was difficult for her, being she's probably used to like 9 to 5 corporate world, and then to like come into this.
It
I
get
wonder.
messy.
Mm.
Yeah, I wonder.
I think she'll
how
be able
She's
to
like, if we were
stand.
Netflix, we would have canceled this 5 seasons ago.
Well,
right
they-
when you're enjoying it.
They brought Jennifer
Yeah.
Tilly as well, the voice
My
of Chucky's
mother.
girlfriend.
Is she an actual housewife or is
Tiffany.
she a friend?
She's a friend of, so she's been a friend of for 2 seasons, and she's made appearances before,
Mhm.
but she's Sutton's friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sutton
Yeah.
was actually, Justin showed me that Sutton was in an episode of the Chucky TV show
Yeah.
She was.
with
she was.
Jennifer Tilly. Yeah.
Jennifer
wa-
Tilly was the villain in Liar Liar with Jim Carrey.
Yes, she was. She was
Yeah.
also in this movie Bound with Gina Gershon. Anyway.
I love Sutton and Sutton's line of, I'm not going to bow down at the altar of Kyle Richards. Gagged.
gagged wig
And
on the
Dorit
floor.
in her little hat.
Tilly
Tilted
looks so good
sideways.
this season.
She does
so
look so
cheap.
good.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love her voice.
And you're getting what you asked for. You wanted some single Dorit, and clearly she said she's not married this week, so
Mhm.
we might get a little cigarette smoking, lined up dating Dorit.
If you found out that PK and Dorit were just like willing to expose their marriage on television for the sake of ratings, what would you think about that?
I would
Like,
believe it.
I'd be fine
would
with it.
you appreciate that, or would you make you think less of them as human beings? But
I guess it depends on how you look at it. I'm like, you're on a reality TV show. Comparing it to Kyle and Mauricio last year, where we all knew everything based off of like headlines, what they've put out there, and then you watch the show and you're like, you're giving me nothing, versus like putting it out there, being like, hi, there's no way of hiding this. Everybody knows we're staying at different homes and da da da. Like, put it out there.
That's what I think. I would appreciate it because we knew for like seasons before this that they're not a happy couple. So now
Right.
it's them
Yeah.
finally actually addressing what we've all known.
Well, it's like if you're gonna go through all that in your relationship, you might as well make good TV
And make a
you know
good
what I mean?
paycheck. It's a
Exactly.
bonus.
But what-
Exactly.
what if it's all fake?
I mean, she was on the chopping block
What if they were?
this
What if
season if
they?
she didn't address
What if
it.
they're not as messy as they portray? but they just do it for television.
Honestly, if you can
Pro.
maintain
for
that,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
then I mean, by all means, I just don't see how you can separate reality from a TV show
also-
in that sense.
To answer your question, I don't think they're that messy. Because if they've hit it for like 2-3 years already, I feel like they are a little more cordial with the separation and they might be hyping it up for the TV.
All right, now it's time to get into our favorite part of the day, Vibes versus Stats. But before we do, this Vibes versus Stats segment of the Viall Files is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios no-shells flavors come in a variety of flavors, including chili roasted, honey roasted, sea salt and vinegar, smoky barbecue, sea salt and pepper, jalapeno lime, and the newest seasonal limited time edition, sweet cinnamon. With a wide range of flavors, there's a wonderful pistachio product for every taste bud and occasion, from a game time gathering or for taking them on the go. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. All right, well, it's sad to bring you guys the news that Stats won this week.
Listen, we're coming back. So just know that. We want to do it slow in the beginning. We
And
want
it's
to
a
lose
long
a lot.
season. Yeah, it's a long
America,
And
season.
then we're going to
America
come back.
loves an underdog.
They do love an underdog. The Cincinnati Bengals lost. That was your horse, to the Philadelphia Eagles, and that was the game that we didn't pick the same matchup. So unfortunately, 1-0.
We're gonna
Maybe
come
this
from
week.
behind.
Yeah, for sure. Either
We're
way,
predicting it.
whoever wins the game, just make sure you're enjoying them with some wonderful pistachios. Thank you, Wonderful Pistachios, for sponsoring this segment of the Viall Files. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. Before we move on with this electric show, we have, just to let you know, some great guests lined up for you coming on today. Nina Parker from E! News, you know her from hosting many great shows, is with us to break down the Love is Blind season. She is a very passionate fan and has a lot to say. You will not want to miss that. Plus, Chandler Kinney is with us as well from Pretty Little Liars and Dancing with the Stars. You will not want to miss that. All right, let's get into Salt Lake City. You know who's real messy? Lisa Barlow.
But she ate.
How did she eat?
ate. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
yeah,
am being
that phone
accused of
call.
something I
I-
did
And go the
not
distance
do.
on
And
it.
Go the
You
I-
guys
That
I
was
thought that was-
iconic.
Sean.
That was iconic.
I texted immediately. I was
How?
like, Lisa Barlow ate.
How?
Yeah.
Oops. This
Her-
is
because-
classic Lisa.
Yeah.
Her-
But that's bully behavior.
No. What?
Yes.
It was a little bit. It was
I
a
did
little
not.
bit.
No,
But
it was
bully
her
her.
being accused of something. She's like, I know I did not do this, and I will call my fucking lawyer, and I will
All
have
6
this
of 'em.
handled, and we will go the distance on it because I know I didn't do this. That's what it's giving. Not like,
her instantly pulling up the phone, calling her security, being like, "Who did it? I'm going to sue them."
That's
Yeah.
that's such a fake flex. That is the equivalent of
that's-
Jax taking his t-shirt off in the parking lot and chest bumping someone to fake fight them.
Yes.
The difference is
Like,
we know Lisa
Call-
has
I'm
7
gonna get
lawyers.
I'm gonna get the Salt Lake City and the LA police involved. We can't get the cops to show up at our door if someone burglarized their house in LA.
Yeah.
Their police are so busy, but no, they're gonna just drop what they're doing because of a
Investigate
rumor.
Instagram comments.
I hate to
Like an
say it.
Instagram rumor.
I hate to
It's
say it,
delusional.
but Lisa Barlow could. Her and her 7 lawyers. She has one of the 7 that would do it right away.
That's true. Like there would be the cops would be so annoyed.
The
How
funny
is-
They should remake LA Confidential with
Yeah.
the cops having to do like housewives legal drama work.
So let me get this straight. So like, there's a rumor going around about Whitney's business.
Yes, so for the record, the way that it plays out, we see the clip of Whitney calling her friend, who we know is UpandAdam, and he calls her saying, I know the person who run the account that posted the Alibaba photos. I asked them who it was,
Mm-hmm.
and it was someone in your friend group who owns a liquor business. That's what we saw.
mm-hmm,
So now Whitney and Bravo's leading us to think that it was Lisa Barlow.
right?
But basically, Adam posted an Instagram video being like, they Frankensteined the clips
Sure.
to make my call seem like it was something else. I explicitly said in the call, and let me actually just bring up the exact quotes. He said, I said multiple times it was not Lisa Barlow who ended up sharing the information,
Okay.
but it was someone who is part of the cast who has been very smart and strategic with how they are maneuvering this. So Bravo, Salt Lake City made us think that it was Lisa Barlow, but he came out and said it's not Lisa Barlow.
So-
So
Uh,
Lisa getting accused of something she knows, and now we all know she did not do. Her being like, "You're not about to attack my character and act like I'm coming for your business. Like I will get people who will go the distance on this.
But
it wasn't me.
Isn't Lisa part of this rumor about Whitney's business? Isn't she?
No,
She
that's
was
the
in
whole
the-
thing.
She brought it to Meredith's attention.
She was in the room when it was brought up initially, yes.
Has she helped this rumor about Whitney's business flourish in any sort of way?
Yes, I would say I would agree with that. On TV, she entertained
On
the
national
conversation.
television.
She also did not take Whitney's necklace.
That is true.
Yeah, she
She
left it in
remembered
Milwaukee.
that she accidentally left it.
Just
Yeah.
for someone who has no problem
trash can.
perpetuating
Yeah.
a rumor, acts as so entitled that
Yeah.
like the authorities of
Mhm.
LA and Salt Lake City will drop what they are doing to investigate a rumor online.
Yeah, Whitney never accused her either. She asked.
She-
Well, she did ask her in a way of like, I know the answer.
Well, she asked in a way that Meredith asks.
Also, Whitney would have to be in on this too with Bravo. Whitney was there during the conversation. So if Bravo is franking cutting the conversations together, then Whitney must
So
also
Whitney,
be in on
yeah,
it.
to that point, Whitney would have
must
acted
know
dumb.
what they're gonna. That is a good point by Leia, because that in real time, Whitney has to know how they plan on editing it, right?
So do you think producers went to
Right.
her and they were like, why don't we just like run with Lisa on this for a bit?
Well, it's assuming we trust Mr. UpandAdam,
Yeah,
which
Well, I mean, I don't know. That would be a weird time for him to lie.
that would, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's a weird time
He's-
for anyone? People will lie at weird times. I
He's
don't-
also friends with a lot of the Salt Lake City housewife women cast. So it's like,
Is he trying to save his ass or eat Lisa Barlow?
Yeah,
I
is he
was
afraid
gonna
of Lisa?
say
Is he making
that.
sure he doesn't get
So-
sued by
Six
LA
law.
and Salt Lake City? Because
Yeah.
Lisa's made it very clear.
he has
She's
a show
co-
with Monica as well. So I mean, it's very much like there are ties of like bias on different sides.
I'm not familiar with Mr. Adams, but
Yeah,
maybe he's not fully transparent.
maybe. Yeah, I mean, I think he would be
Mm.
because he is like
But
a big source.
That's
in
a
the
very
housewife
interesting
world, but-
point that Leia made, and which I find it very hard to believe that the people producing the show would be so sloppy as to go to Whitney and say, "Hey, listen, I know this person told you explicitly it's not Lisa Barlow, but we're gonna make sure that in the edit room that it seems like it is. So can you play
Yeah.
along at this fight?" I don't think they operate that
I think
way.
it's
I
more
think that exposes the producers way
Yeah.
too much.
I don't think it's that. I think it's more of Whitney said like, I don't know anybody else in my friend group that owns a liquor business.
Yeah.
So I think it was more of like
No,
Whitney
but she
was like,
specifically went up to Lisa at the party and said, "I heard a rumor," and very much strongly implied, if not almost accused Lisa of being the one to
Yeah.
perpetuate the
Well,
rumor.
well, she was
So-
the only one with a liquor business.
but
so
what I'm saying, no, but you're saying that this Mr. Adams guy called up Whitney and said, "Hey, listen, I heard this person, but just so you know, it wasn't Lisa Barlow." And you're saying that Whitney heard this in a car with her husband
yeah,
and then got in a fight with some other Lisa's husband, being like, "My wife's not a fucking liar," even though she would have to be a liar if Mr. Adams is telling the
Yeah.
truth.
Mm.
And then started this whole scene because the producers promised her they're going to edit this out. That like, there's no way Whitney would have been that
No.
dumb to do that, because they could be lying to Whitney and setting Whitney up. I don't. But there's
also-
a disconnect in the story. I
but
don't,
that
I don't know.
account could also be lying to protect Lisa. So I think Whitney at the end of the day was just like, I'm going to ask the one person I think it might be.
I'm just saying, if what this person is saying is
Yeah.
true, something unbelievable would have had to happen. And it's kind of unbelievable that production would go to Whitney and tell her how they're going to edit the show. And that's not how these shows work. They don't they're not in real time storyboarding their show. They
Yeah.
film a show, they get a bunch of content, then behind the scenes, they kind of look at what they got and they write their story.
Well, Adam never said anything about Whitney. He said it about the editing. So like the editing happened after like Whitney confronted Lisa. So that's where I was saying I think Lisa or Whitney might have just been like genuinely asking, like, you're the only friend I know that owns a liquor business. Do you know anything about this rumor? So he wasn't saying anything about Whitney being set up. He just said the clip was like edited.
But you're saying that he said that he explicitly told Whitney that it wasn't Lisa Barlow?
Yeah, he said multiple times it
Sure.
wasn't.
And
Yeah.
that part doesn't add up to the scene that we saw of Whitney confronting Lisa Barlow and then
Yeah.
Whitney's husband getting in a fight with Lisa's husband, all around the idea that Whitney is or isn't a liar when it comes to accusing or suggesting Lisa
Well,
Barlow
that's the thing.
is
I think
behind all
I think it
this.
was blown out of proportion because Whitney was asking Lisa, and then Lisa turned it into, "Who was it? I'm going to sue them. Let's get the police involved. You're a liar." So then it became this whole like grand
I
scheme
mean,
of the husbands are getting involved.
If I'm Lisa, that feels like an accusation.
I agree, it
Yeah.
does. But I think Whitney was asking.
Maybe the two conversations with Whitney and Adam happened at completely different times. Maybe the first conversation happened and then this confrontation with Whitney and Lisa, and then they had another conversation. and they franken-cut those two
That's
together.
what I saw was that it was two completely separate conversations that were cut together. Two different phone calls.
Well, maybe the second conversation happened after Whitney confronted Lisa about it. And then in the second conversation,
Like
he
she
said,
called this
"It's not
Up and
what
Adam guy and was like, "Oh my God, I confronted Lisa and it was this whole thing." And
He
he was like,
flipped
"Oh,
out.
Lisa?
Right.
No.
It actually
It
isn't
was
her.
not Lisa.
Yeah.
It was
Mhm.
not Lisa."
Well, and then Whitney's husband inviting Jared Osmond.
Well,
Oh
I
my
was gonna
Awful.
God.
That
say
was messy.
she's in hot water right now for that too because it's
Whitney is?
yeah.
Why?
Well, people are upset
She laughed at
because
it. Yeah.
Justin invited Jared, knowing the whole Britney situation, and I guess on an Instagram comment that's been deleted, somebody commented on it being like, why would he be invited? And she responded with just Justin being messy, LOL or something. And then the person commented back being like, but like if you're on your journey of healing, like why would you put somebody in a situation who's obviously hurting and put them in that situation? And now the comments have been deleted.
Well, it was weird because we got proof of like the text that Justin sent Jared being like, "Hey, we're at Angie's. You should come. Brittany's here."
Yeah.
That's a weird text to send to someone if
Justin was just being messy.
He was being messy.
He was
Yeah.
being
I think
messy.
but they also said in the after show, I'm pretty positive that where Angie lives is not exactly a convenient location to get to.
It's not,
So
no.
Jared
Mhm.
had to be driving around the neighborhood waiting for the text saying, you can come in.
Or he drove fast.
Or he was
like,
going to come in.
"Bet."
Yeah.
Well, Jared
Also,
sucks.
Let's remember, this
Yeah.
was a TV show.
Well, he's mic'd up
He's
and
mic'd
ready to
up.
come in, of
Yeah,
course.
like he was dressed up.
It was really tough though to see Brittany and Jared talk.
Yeah.
I was
It
like,
was
she was
sad
crying.
because she did look just like happy with this other guy, just to like have Jared not on her forefront of mind and to like not be totally invested in that drama with him and to just kind of like have someone new, have someone fun, and then to like have him come in and it just was, it was
And you feel so bad
sad.
because it's also kind of like, I believe Jared's an actor. So it's kind of one of those things where he's saying all the
He-
lines
yeah.
like, I just miss
Oh
you. But
my
it's like,
God.
no,
And it's
you
like-
came up for the camera.
We've all been in that situation where you're like out at a bar and then your ex shows up and you're like, oh, like what do I do?
she
you
goes-
look so
can't
good. I
fake
miss
it.
you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to talk? And he goes, if you want to.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know,
like you
that way
came
he-
here because she's here. And now it's like, well, if you want to talk,
Do you
Like-
want me to leave?
I
'Cause
have
I won't.
seen a lot of evil men on my television screen.
He's maybe one of the most.
Jared Osmond is so insidious. Like
It's a strong word.
so insidious. It's because he's so aware of how manipulative he is
Yeah.
and knows that he can get away with it because he is an Osmond.
he's scary.
Even seeing
he's
how the
scary.
people at the party like flock to him. It's like, I get it that he's
They
like
suck it
Mormon
up.
royalty, but it was just like, what can I
Wait.
get you? A grape, Jared?
And when
God.
Mary said, I get it, was she like saying, I get it, like he's hot?
No,
Like,
it's because she was convinced the other guy was Jared Osmond, and then she saw the two, and she was like, "Oh, those are two different white men."
okay.
That looked the same. To be
And then
fair, they
her
look similar.
Very-
explaining it to the kids.
Even Brittany said, like, I have a type.
Wait, Mary throwing a fit and then talking to like the kids
Yeah.
after, and they were like, "What's
Women.
wrong?" And she was like, "Women." You could tell that was a producer setup though,
That
because she
was.
laughed and they left it in because she
Yeah.
was like, "What am I doing?"
What am I doing? Mary is slaying
This
She
whole
is.
episode, the dinner at Angie's, like just her
Yeah.
face reactions to anything that happened. She'd
Oh
be
my
like,
God.
Mm-hmm.
to like something across the room.
Also-
iconic.
Angie's mob. The opening of this episode being like the mob wives with like the putting stuff
Salt Lake-
up on the.
Salt Lake City knows that they could be goofy with the edit because of last season, and
Yeah.
now they don't care.
Yeah.
Every
Editors
episode,
deserve
This
a
was-
raise.
they do.
like this is like one of the best comedies on TV,
Yes.
hands down.
Oh, I agree. I so much agree. To go back to the Brittany part of it, though, like you manifested this, Nick, because last episode you were like, they need to make Jared a housewife,
They do.
and he's on our screen
He's
2
the
more
worst.
seconds, and I think you did this.
Well, I don't know if I did it. I think
Mhm.
it was
No, I
already
know,
filmed,
yeah.
but I just don't. It is hard for
There was
me.
a rough cut. They put him in.
It's just really
Good for
hard
you.
for me to feel. Do you guys feel bad for?
I do.
I
For
don't.
who?
I
In
do.
this
This
situation,
is
Brittany?
too much.
Yeah.
you feel bad for Brittany because she had nothing. Like this was a setup from other people. And like, that's like a trick question. Like your ex who you're clearly still in love with for him to be like, well, do you want me to leave?
No,
And
I mean
it's
he's
like,
the worst.
Come
she was
on.
honest. She was like, no.
But also, like, she has this guy who she brought, and then she leaves him hanging. Like, she has to take some responsibility at this point in her life to not bring a date to a party and then absolutely leave him hanging by himself, alienated.
Yeah.
She just completely using the like.
She's
just-
his Jared.
You know,
Best friend.
she should know better. It's just kind of like, come on. I mean,
Mary asking him, like, so how long have y'all been together? And he's like,
A month.
We've been dating for a couple months, he said.
Yeah, and
Been
no, I
hanging
think it
out
was
or-
a month.
month.
And she was like, a month? Because she's like, she's been talking about Jared for
Here's the thing.
yesterday.
I respect Lisa so much more because like this specific scenario made me see that I think the other woman thought Brittany was just like victimizing herself, not being as serious about her feelings for Jared. So then they were like, oh my God, Jared's here. Funny, haha. We invited Jared, but then she's breaking down.
Yeah.
And Lisa's the only one that's like, no, we're talking to him right now. Like, we're going to confront him. You need to talk to him.
Two things can be true at the same time. He can be an insidious, terrible human being
Which he is.
who's
He is.
and
Evil.
Brittany should also know better.
But they saw her actually break down. And I think this was the first time
Yeah.
versus she wasn't just talking about him. She saw him.
Yeah, this is a completely different scenario,
Yeah.
and I believe she deserves some grace from you, where she was set up to see her ex in an environment where she wasn't prepared to see him.
Sure. Yes.
And he manipulated her, and he's asking her these questions. She's crying. He's being like,
Yeah, for sure.
"You come on, like you're on a date with another guy. Like you brought another guy."
But do you think they're still hanging out?
after those Instagram stories he released? I would hope the fuck not.
No.
But what
Yeah.
if she
Him,
is?
her and Jared, her and the other guy.
Then there's a conversation to be had. But
He's
when
just
she's
a
at
master
party,
manipulator, though.
she brought
Like,
another
it's-
guy. She was happy. She
Yeah.
was laughing. She was kissing him. She was in her own. She was doing her own thing. And then he comes in and it ruins her night. Like she deserves some grace.
He's giving John Jensen Jr.
He's giving
Oh.
trashola.
I did see
Yeah.
something where someone was like, has anybody seen Maylee? Like, send help, where's Maylee? Because, like, this whole season we've seen a ton of Bronwyn and Brittany, but, like, none of Maylee.
Oh,
You see
yeah.
that? And, like, this
Yeah.
specific episode, she was there kind of just, like, making one-off comments, but, like,
She's not really even giving friend of. It's kind
that's
of
the
like,
thing. She's
yeah.
just kind
Yeah.
of there.
Hmm.
What did you think of Mary confronting Heather? When she was like, God knows. And
He
Heather's
does.
When Heather's like, well, name a time that you have
Yeah,
been nice to me. And Mary's like,
Name a time you've been good to me.
Yeah. Mary's
is-
been awful to Heather.
I know, yeah.
But that is also like one of my favorite things to say in argument, and Nick probably knows this, where it's like,
not fair.
you've done this, and it's like, name a time, give me an example, and then they can't. And it's like,
Okay.
doesn't seem like it's true.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The one thing you do in an argument is if you're going to bring up, you always do this, timestamps. You need to
Yeah.
come with that in case they say
Receipts.
name a
I
time.
don't
Proof,
say you always.
Timeline,
Name 'em.
screenshots,
Name 'em.
fucking
Name 'em.
everything.
Like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
yesterday.
You just love Lisa. I don't know.
I love Whitney, but I think I just love all of them. I said that when we were talking about the reality Vontees of it all back then. I was like, I just have respect for a lot of them that I
Yeah.
can speak to all of their strengths.
But Lisa's big thing is to overreact and bully people and to do.
And
I
agree.
did not
She
think
scares
this was
people.
bullying.
I think Meredith is the bigger bully.
I mean, going to
For the
no,
record.
sorry.
Wait,
Let me correct myself. Going to Justin and being like, your wife's a liar, like that, way too fucking
Going
much.
too far.
But being like accused of something, you're like, I didn't do that. And
But
like,
this is the same person who constantly perpetuates rumors about other people, and then when someone is perpetuating or even just asking if she's involved in a rumor, then she threatens a lawsuit. And,
Yeah.
and again, it's all bullshit, but she does it with such vigor and such conviction
Yes.
that like one might actually be scared that Lisa would do this. Someone who has
I would
proven
never
to
be
be
scared of
litigious,
Lisa
and that
Barlow.
in itself, that is bullying. That is intimidation. She is trying to intimidate.
she said, don't lie on my name.
Intimidation.
And I'll sue you.
Yes, intimidation. Yes, I think
That's
she's.
bullying.
I think Lisa is just
Yeah.
giving white women I know how to use the law. Like
Yeah.
but I think if we're talking about rumors, Meredith is the bully of
rumors
rumors.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
and
Every rumor
that's
starts from Meredith, and it's always other people falling down.
Yeah.
Whitney Rose,
Dude.
Lisa, Heather, all of them.
I am absolutely blown away by how Meredith just remains to be unscathed
But
by
she
bringing.
starts them.
It's genius.
She
She's
starts them.
incredible.
And
she's
she's the lawyer.
incredible.
She's the actual
I love
lawyer,
it.
and that's why she
I
knows
love
how to
it.
do it.
But even then, she's coming from a completely different perspective. This episode being
Yeah.
like defending Lisa and being like, "How do you know?"
Exactly. She is.
You should ask
she's
her.
lawyering.
That was
She's
weird.
lawyering them all. Lisa's calling the lawyers,
She
and
knows
Meredith
how to,
is on
like,
the other
plant
end.
information because she knows they love a rumor. They all-
Exactly.
they
The
all
Call
are
is coming
obsessed.
from
But-
inside the house.
That's where I said she is.
She is the FBI.
She is the bully because she's the one that starts the rumors, and people fall down because
I
of
don't
it.
But
think you
she's
know what
so
bully
cool.
means.
I do know what bully means. because the Meredith acts like she's like, well, I never did anything.
Well,
Why would you be overreacting?
you can be a gossip, you can be a shit starter, you can, but
Okay.
it doesn't mean you're a bull. Like the
Okay.
bully, the intimidating part. It's like that's the bullying part. It's like I'm gonna intimidate you and scare you into doing what I want because I don't want you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's kind of gives bully.
Okay. I retract the statement. She's a rumor starting person.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bully means a person who habitually seeks to harm or intimidate those whom they perceive as vulnerable.
But she's starting rumors to intimidate indirectly.
That just sounds like Lisa right there.
I think that every single person in this Salt Lake City cast, and I love them with all of my heart, you could accuse of being a bully.
course.
That is true.
Correct.
That is
They're
true.
all just
Yes.
bullying each other. So I think Lisa, I think some of them are better at it than others. And I think Lisa is just like not transparent about it whatsoever. And Meredith is like very, very smart about it.
I've said this. Meredith was a lawyer. She knows
Yeah.
how to drop a rumor and then act like she never did it and stay
Uh-huh.
clean.
He's like, this is from the DA's office. I didn't do anything.
I got a DM.
Yeah.
The next
I got a DM.
episode looks like it's going to be very, very good. We're very excited for it. Up next, we got Nina Parker from E! News. She is really enjoying this season of Love is Blind, and she's here to give us all her thoughts about this dramatic and wild and wacky season. Up next, Nina Parker.
This podcast is sponsored by Laundry Sauce. Y'all know that laundry is my favorite chore. I love it. And I love it because Laundry Sauce has created the world's best smelling laundry detergent in simple to use, high performance pods. Laundry Sauce has transformed doing laundry into a luxurious and exciting experience, so you don't have to dread laundry day anymore. So what's the secret sauce behind Laundry Sauce? They partnered with one of the top fragrance houses in the world, the same team behind many of your favorite designer scents. From Australian sandalwood to Egyptian rose to Siberian pine, laundry day will never smell the same again. Laundry Sauce was started back in 2021 by a team who were bored by the mundane, chemically smelling scents in the detergent aisle. So they sought out the world's #1 fragrance house to bring beautiful, complex aromas made from high-quality, natural ingredients and put them into a powerful, stain-fighting laundry pod. Laundry Sauce has some of the funnest, most authentic reviews you will ever read. Tim describes using Laundry Sauce as, it's like being transported to a land of bliss. I stand by that, Tim.
And it's not just pods. Laundry Sauce makes scent boosters, dryer sheets, dryer balls, fabric softeners, and even candles, too. Plus, if you're not happy, send back Laundry Sauce for a full refund. No questions asked. Now is the time to elevate your laundry ritual with Laundry Sauce. Head to laundrysauce.com/VIALL and use promo code VIALL at checkout for 15% off. That's the best offer you'll find, but you must use our code VIALL for 15% off your order. One last time, that's laundrysauce.com/VIALL, promo code VIALL for 15% off. Nina, welcome to the Viall Files.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So excited to have you. We have been following you along for some time now.
Really?
Yeah, well,
No,
I
we
have.
love you.
I
We're
know, that's
huge
for
fans
sure.
of
have?
you.
I'm
Yes.
so
I see
The
your
second you walked
takes.
in, I was like, oh yeah, this is my girl.
And I was
That
like, we
makes
need
me
to
feel so
get, we need to get
good.
Nina on the show.
Well, you guys are the coolest podcast.
Oh my
So,
God, say-
Oh my God.
say that
Well,
again.
next
Say-
to
say that
Rachel
louder.
Lindsay, because
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
she gets mad.
Yeah.
but-
Yes.
different
That's a good
shows.
friend.
Different shows.
Different
Different
vibe,
shows.
right?
Different vibes. Yeah,
But no,
both
you guys
equally
are,
as
I
good.
get a lot of catch up through you guys, so I love it because I'm one of those people that sometimes just likes to speed to the end. So I'm like, okay, let me just watch them and get the recap. So
Yes.
it's wonderful.
Well, we love your hot takes. You've been very active discussing Love is Blind, and we thought we need to get Nina on the show.
You know what's so funny is that I am so media trained in just my history that I never usually talk about shows like unless I'm on camera. Like I
Mhm.
usually save my opinion on Twitter. And this last year I was like, F that. I'm about to
Done.
just say what I feel. I don't care.
Well,
it burns a
we-
bridge. Like I gotta give my opinion.
Yeah,
so
that's what we love about this show. You don't need to be media trained.
right.
Honestly,
Exactly.
drop all training.
I
you
know,
have.
I know. I've been learning a little from Gen Z about just being like, just F it to the wind.
Yeah,
And I like it a
Mhm.
little bit. I
Yeah,
kind of
we-
like it.
yeah, we love that. We love it.
Let's
Yeah.
burn it to the ground.
You
Let's
could
burn
even
it
say
to the ground.
you could even say fuck if you want.
Oh, can I?
Yeah.
Okay, don't give me the, listen, I have a
You have
potty
free
mouth.
range.
Yes,
So do we.
I am unlearning all of my media training for many, many years. And I have to say, it's very freeing.
It's a new world.
It's
Yeah.
a whole new world. And what's so funny is I
Fuck.
purposely wasn't critical of Love is Blind for a long time. I would just keep it like to myself. And my friend
Mhm.
was like, you should tweet about it. And I started to tweet like my opinions and it would get like thousands of retweets. And I was like, maybe I should talk about this more.
Yes.
We're here to let it out of you.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Tell us how you feel about Love is Blind in general.
I don't like it.
Oh,
I don't like it. I hate that the premise is like you have to get married. I hate any show that you have to end in marriage. Like I'm just against that. Like I feel like that shouldn't be, it's like
Like from a human being standpoint,
yes,
sure.
I'm just, but I love to hate the show, if that makes sense. Like I'm not a big fan of the premise. And this season have been very critical of the show. That being said, I do enjoy watching it, but I'm mad the whole time. Afterwards, I got to go for a walk. Like, I'm viscerally mad.
Oh
Like,
no!
yeah, I'm mad when I watch the show. I'm like, this is crazy. And
What is pissing you off so much?
You know what's? I feel like the selection. I'm like, what is going on with the selection of people? I feel like now people are kind of getting on the show to get famous now.
Yeah.
As opposed to before where it really felt like a project. But more importantly, I'm just like, can we stop getting put in the middle of arguments? Where are the cameras at this season?
Yeah.
Like, was somebody sick? Was an editor on vacation?
We've been saying there needs to be Love Island hidden cameras in these apartments.
Well, what is going on? We're coming in, and I'm trying to play Blue's Clues.
And they're like reenacting like the fight they had last night. And they're like, you said that I'm ugly. Remember?
Well, what happened to green screens? Like, what happened to a green screen to navigate us through? They use the green screens in the pods, but after the pods, they stop using the green screens. And then we come into these arguments, and I'm seeing Ramses and, his two dreads and the girls crying. And I'm like, what happened to get us here?
I need your thoughts on Ramses immediately.
What a clown.
Truly.
What a clown. I saw his reunion photos, and he is dressed like the court jester that he is. And I was so rooting for him because
I haven't seen his reunion photo. Can we
You
see this
haven't
out
seen
there?
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No,
I've
no,
seen
I
all
did.
the
I did.
reunion photos.
Did you see his first wedding photos?
No,
I did.
Oh, show her.
No, I
that.
haven't seen
Show
those.
Show her Ramses 1.0.
Here's the reunion photos, which everybody looks pretty
Can we-
decent.
Ashley absolutely ate the ground down.
Absolutely.
Oh, Ramses,
my
what are you
God,
doing?
Ramses.
Yes, he's and I appreciate a personal style. I get that, but it's like he's trying. He's dressed like Ducky from Pretty in Pink. That's his personality, is to be Ducky.
I think he's just like, you can't yell at me. I'm wearing.
Right.
I'm dressed like a clown.
Yes. I actually was. Wait, is this him?
Yes. This will blow your
Really?
mind.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh. Oh, so he just changes personalities.
That is a new man.
Yes, because I'm
Different
like, he looked like Nick D in the wedding pictures.
He was giving Nikki
He
I
got
was
it?
like, he was giving
Holy
Nikki
shit! Go
D.
back to that. Go
giving-
I
back.
thought that was Nicky D in these pictures. Look how he's dressed.
He is giving like
That-
Yeah, he giving Dorka.
he's giving Dorka.
Look at the pictures.
That is an awful shirt.
That looks like a kicker right there.
Yes. And see, that's why I'm
He
like,
still
I
loves a
can't-
pattern.
He loves a pattern, but I can't trust anything he says. I'm like, he looks like a chameleon. He kind of adjusts to
It's
whatever.
a little bit of a drastic change.
And I actually thought at first, I was like, okay, this guy is like conscious.
Mhm.
He's really conscious of the world.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. And then when they had the conversation, when they were in the kitchen and she was saying that she wasn't feeling good and he was still pressing her
What
about sex. Oh, I was ready. I was ready to take every earring off and fight for her. And I'm not even a big Marissa fan, but I was like, this guy is trash.
that
Genuinely.
was crazy.
And my biggest thing is like, when I think of a partner, I'm always like, are they going to be there for me if I get sick? That's the first thing I think about.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even have a period with him.
Hell no. He's like, so your legs close when you're on a period?
Right.
Are we
You're not
fucking
gonna-
today,
Right.
or-
I don't want to use protection. It's all on you. Also, you
I need
can't-
to enjoy
Yes.
sex. So
I gotta
like,
enjoy sex.
Are you saying this is going to happen every month?
Right. I'm like, did this man go to 6th grade class about the human body? Does he know what happens to us?
No.
That's what's so crazy. He's been married. That's what's so mind blowing to me.
It's
Is that
very like a naive take. Like, it's a very young.
I
take
think it's
to me.
more. I don't give a fuck.
You think so?
How can you be 35 years old, married?
Right.
So it's like you've had at least one serious relationship.
Right.
He's married to a woman.
Have we heard from the ex?
No.
I would love to hear from her and hear what she has to
Interesting.
say.
Yeah, it's just like
about him.
right, because you would assume that she would,
Do-
teach him
Yeah.
the
do
basics.
we know why? Did he speak on why their marriage ended?
I feel like he did. I'm honestly, when he speaks, I just hear white noise. I
Same.
honestly,
Tune out.
I feel like it's one of those time portals where he talks for 10 minutes and I come back and I'm like, I don't know what he just said. I don't know what he's talking about. I
Oh,
lost
he's still going.
complete-
Okay.
When he
Okay.
did the thing with Marissa in the kitchen, I lost all respect for that. And I did see him say that it was editing, and he did blame the editing.
Of course he did,
And
but
he
like
said it
how
was
can
out of context. So I'll give him that. But and I know it is edited, but you said what you said.
But
We
you know
know-
what's not out of context? Him saying, I will divorce you if you were to rejoin the military.
Yeah.
That
They
wasn't.
just weren't a match. Like, also, these are not people who need to be getting married.
Mm-mm.
She didn't need to be getting married either. Most of the people on this cast, like, I just didn't feel I'm like, y'all don't even need to be dating.
Mm-mm. I wish we got more of Alex and Tim. I'm excited
Yeah.
for the reunion.
Are you?
Yes.
I'm not.
You're not?
No, because I know I'm going to be disappointed.
You
I'm a
think?
reunion host, as you guys know.
Yes.
So I am built with questions in my head. I have never been, no shade to the hosts.
We shade them all the time.
It's
because honestly, when it comes to the reunions, it's really up to the network, how they cut it, what questions are asked. It's not really on the host. You could ask it and it gets cut out. I've had that happen where I've asked really dying hard questions from the fans and they didn't put it in and people were mad at me. So I understand that part. Ultimately, it's how the network wants to do it, but I've never been satisfied from a Love is Blind reunion, not once.
never. Honestly,
They
that's
go
true.
off on some tangent.
It's like the show doesn't want to embrace what it is, which is like they are the villain. The show is the villain. Like, this is not a great show for humanity. Like, y'all are out here trying to embarrass these people. And I'd rather them just own it than to pretend like this is a show about love. Like, no, it's not. This is not a show about love.
That's reality TV, though.
It's exactly. But it just own it. Like, there are some shows, listen.
The Bachelor will never own it. The Bachelor will be like, no.
I love a show that's just like, we grimy. And what? And you go watch. And I'm just like, okay, tell me what you are. Because we're still going to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel like with Love is Blind, they're like, we didn't include Leo and Brittany because they're not out for the ring. I'm like, if you don't put them on my screen and put them in Miami,
I
don't care if it's filmed
Send a
with
camera
a camera
crew to my
phone.
yes.
That was a move. Like, now's not the time to get self-righteous about your characters.
There was a moment on the show that really bothered me with Vanessa, and they were shopping for the dresses. And this is just when Nick D and Hannah broke up. So she didn't show up.
Yeah.
And they were discussing it. And Vanessa comes in and she's like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, well, one of the girls didn't show. It was a time for tea.
Yes.
It was a time to get tea. And she was like, let's focus on the weddings. And I'm like, are y'all serious?
Yeah.
This is what we are here for. And y'all I don't give a damn about this lace.
Honestly, the dress episodes are the worst.
Frilly dresses. I fast forward through this anyway.
Yes.
Don't nobody watch that?
No,
Y'all should just put this in a clip on YouTube because don't nobody watch these fittings.
Yes.
I will see the fitting if this girl walks down the aisle. Otherwise, goodbye.
Thank
I'll go
you.
back and rewatch
I don't need to see these David Bridal's dresses. Like, please.
The first one they're visibly unhappy with, and we're like, oh my God,
Clearly.
shocked.
I'm like, there has not been one wedding dress where I've been like, they slayed.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, this is David's bridal. They on a budget. That's fine. They'll have the real wedding later.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching
They'll
for the
redo.
wedding dresses.
Please.
Please, y'all could eliminate that. Put that in the
Thank
clips and
you.
trailers.
Nobody's also watching the bachelorette parties because what are those?
Well, let's talk about the Bachelorette. How the girls got TPs and Taylor Swift bracelets, and the men got to go to the VIP suite
at the
Wizards
NBA game. Huh?
Like, what kind of balance is this?
Yeah, they said slumber party for the girls.
Right.
And the guys
Let me
lay up
a slumber party
competition.
with 2 people in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the shitty part of these bachelorettes is it's like you get to bring 2 friends,
Right.
you get to bring 2 friends, and this is your bachelorette party.
Right.
I'm hanging out with 2 girls I don't even know, and one
That's
of them
right.
I don't really even want to know.
And also, there was only 2 brides this season. They could have splurged.
Yes.
They could have sent them somewhere.
Or just
put them on a yacht.
Yes.
2 separate
you
bachelorette
had only
parties.
2 brides. The guys got to go do half-court shots and do a VIP.
Which
and-
Tyler was still pissed about. Tyler was
Yeah.
like, this is not what I imagined my bachelor party to be.
Right.
They need to do that more. I don't know why they don't do that. Because that would be a great time to bring a bunch of friends who
It
like
could be ratchet.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so rad.
Send them
Get-
to a club.
get all the
Yes.
opinions of friends and be like, I don't know what Carl's
That could
doing.
be
He's just
drama
yeah.
on the
Oh my
bachelor
god,
party.
friends talking shit
Yeah.
about, you know.
Again, the show pretending they're wholesome.
If you eliminate the dress try-ons, then you can have 2
Yeah,
episodes
like,
of bachelorette parties.
Right. Or what would be fun is like have those bachelorette parties and invite the other girls from the pods that are in there that might still like your man. Like that would give me drama. I don't want to see them making bracelets and burning candles and drinking milk.
Yeah,
Like-
karaoke drink.
What kind of wholesome shit is this? Like, I don't want wholesome when I watch Love is Blind.
Yes.
I could turn to Hallmark for that.
Thank
I'm
you.
watching this. Let's get in the thick of it. That's what I want.
Yes.
And I just wish they would give that us a little bit more, like, just trying to find, like, the grace of everything. Y'all being sued. Like, please stop acting like we don't know what's going on behind the scenes and just give it to us. That's what I want.
Reunion is not gonna give in Nina's eyes. And honestly, I back it because every other
That's where we come in.
reunion.
That's where we come in.
That is
Thank
true.
God.
That is where we
Thank
come
God
in.
for you guys. I actually do watch your interviews when I'm watching the reunion. I'm like, they're not gonna. Well, hopefully they covered it.
We got some
because-
good ones
right.
coming up.
We
Oh,
do
good.
have some
Thank God.
ones.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing. I've been reading like the little pages with the tea dropping from the reunion, and I'm hearing a lot of stuff wasn't explained. So
Who
I'm
do you
not
hear
sure.
it's not explained from?
So I hear that we don't get the details from Stephen and Monica about what was in the text.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't get into it.
Weird thing to not get into.
Right.
I also heard we spend a lot of time on Hannah and Nick D, which I was like, what more is there to
Right.
say?
It's like you're mean and you need to grow up.
Yeah,
I mean, they're both immature, just differently.
exactly.
You know, and Hannah needs to understand that being like upfront and frank doesn't mean that you get a pass to be disrespectful.
Absolutely.
'Cause it's different between being honest and just being nasty to somebody.
Mhm.
And she kind of holds this guise of like, well, I just tell it like it is. I'm like, I do too, girl.
But
But this is why I got friends, because I know how to like temper
Deliver.
it to people that I care about. And she just clearly didn't like him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know? And I just wish she would have just said that. She didn't like him from the jump.
Right.
She
Yes.
saw him and was like, oh no. Because
Yeah.
we don't talk enough about how Nick catfished everybody, you know, on this season.
I don't know if
He got a pass.
I don't know if he catfished.
Mm.
I think people catfish themselves.
Well, he said didn't he say he looked like, what did he say he looked
Henry
like?
Cavill. Let's
Like,
go.
boy, please.
Henry Cavill.
but
You
I-
said that.
Henry,
I do think they get
yes.
set up because we from last season, Chelsea, like we all get asked.
Yeah.
We're on dating situations. Who do people say you look like or whatever?
Yeah,
and
and I
we've
would have
all
been like, nobody.
that because
Myself.
you're a mature,
Right.
enlightened queen, and you've probably but you know better.
And these
But-
people in here
Yeah.
are trying to like
yeah.
pick me because
Yeah.
I look like Henry
Especially, it's like
Cavill.
we shouldn't even be discussing this because you guys know, which I love the people
Yeah.
who are like, I loved that, you know, there were people who were like, I'm not discussing what I look like. Like, I don't care, you know, and that I respect because it's like, we know what you're trying to do when you ask who I look like.
Yeah.
Mm.
Have you met Chelsea?
No.
I have, and
Okay.
we were hard on her. And I got to
Yeah.
say, in person,
Really?
you see Megan Fox.
Yeah, like
you
her
s-
cousin.
And sure. But
Yeah.
you just see like some guy out at the bars.
sure.
It's late at night.
Yeah.
It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
He has definitely, a lot of men have told her she looks like Megan Fox.
Yeah.
And so when she got asked the question, she just was foolish enough to like,
I mean,
Play
it's just,
in.
there's probably like 5 people in the world you shouldn't say you look like,
Sure.
right?
Mm,
Even
mhm,
if you do, you should probably just not say it.
Yeah.
Megan Fox is in that 5. Beyonce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
well, just anyone who like is clearly hotter than you are.
Right.
And it's nice that when people say, you know, you kind of look
Right.
like so-and-so, like
Right.
take that,
Right.
feel good about it.
Yes.
But
Put it on your vision board.
yeah, but be careful how you say
Agreed.
it going forward because
Agreed.
people will be like, no, you don't.
No, you
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
And also, like,
People say that to you.
right.
You can't
Right.
you can't share that.
Right. But
You
they
know?
don't know. And the thing I will give them is like, you know, I've been in the industry for a long time. I know how to kind of phrase things. When you're, you know, this lady was working at an airline. She doesn't know what to say on camera.
Facts.
And she's in the midst of a conversation. I feel like she got it really bad last season.
Mhm.
I, you know, in the moment, I was just like, girl, please. But I did feel bad at like seeing the comments. I don't feel bad for a lot of these people this season. I'm going to be honest. Like, they're getting it, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously, it should, I think critical is one thing, bullying is another.
Mhm.
But I do think, like, I saw some people from the show, like writing, like, people are being too hard on DC. And it's like, people have a right to watch a show and have an opinion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We have a right to have an opinion. We have a right to not like somebody. Y'all know what you're putting in this show. Don't try to coddle them now and be
Yep.
like, no, they're really good people. Well, you should have showed us.
Right.
Also,
Because we didn't see it.
I've said this to some of my peer friends who've gone on reality TV, and then because obviously on this show we talk about these characters,
Right.
we try to acknowledge there's an edit, and but like you know we will say snarky things, and I will sometimes remind them it's just like it's a little I don't know entitled to go on a reality TV
Mhm.
show and expect everyone to like you.
Right.
Like there are bennies to going
Yeah.
on this shit,
That's-
you know,
that's
but you
true.
got to be able to deal with some
Yeah.
of the other stuff. So just like go turn off your comments, go away, hang out with your friends,
Yeah.
enjoy the fame, but stop arguing with the internet.
Yeah.
I agree. I know that Steven's been arguing with everybody. Like, I've seen it because
Yeah.
I've been on the pages, and I'm like, he argues with everybody.
Everybody.
Comments back
And
on
it's like,
everything.
you the one who needs to be taken at the most. Like,
Mhm.
you did a trash thing. And listen, I'm of the belief that like a horrible thing doesn't define you. Like, I think you can learn from something and grow. And for his part, he did try to tell this girl he was a cheater.
He did.
And she was like, oh, she told him she was sorry for him. Sorry you went through that. Like, she wasn't paying attention. And these are the clues you look for in dating when you're healthy and healed. If a man's like, yeah, I'm a serial cheater, that might be good for a friendship, but not for a relationship. I'm not gonna marry that man. And she was just like, she bypassed it.
Yeah.
And not that she deserved it, but there were a lot of red flags. I feel like, that she bypassed.
Yeah. I do wish they would have dug a little bit deeper in the Steven and Monica situation. Also, I wish we got more from the Tyler and Ashley. It's like what we're getting snippets and snippets.
Oh, that situation. Oh, I'm brokenhearted.
Yeah.
Because I was like, they praying together. Like, they are really, and it was like, I know that they may have talked about stuff off camera, which again, I just kind of feel like is unfair to people watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are another cast member. Like, we are watching, we are supporting this show. I kind of am feeling like the show is now just kind of like, you're going to get what we give you. And I feel like it's unfair to people who are watching because we're going to go and seek more and we're going to be in the comments. We want more and they're not giving it to us. So it's like people going to try to find it somewhere else.
I wonder if they'll adjust. I mean, they have, I think Minneapolis, they've already filmed. I think they filmed DC and Minneapolis together, like back to back. But I do know, like, when it comes to the Ultimatum, which is like their like spin-off show, like they do have the hidden cameras.
Yeah.
So they, for whatever reason, for Love is Blind, they just decided not to do it.
Open the budget for more cameramen. Like,
I don't know. I don't know if it's a budget. I just wondering. I've heard it's just like they.
Well, remember they said
They just
about
wanna
Leo
give
and
them-
Brittany and whatnot, and they were like, we only have X amount of camera people
Which
to
is crazy.
follow these
Please.
couples, and that's why
Please.
we choose 5 to 6.
And it's most popular one of the most popular reality shows in the world.
I don't think it's
y'all got budget for another person.
I don't think it's a budget thing because like the cameras we're all talking about is like kind of the
hidden cameras.
the hidden
for
cameras
sure.
in the apartments that they're staying at to capture the downtime.
But what I'm saying is like whether they picked up the scene but like for example, when Alex and Tim were fighting, and then we come into the middle of their argument in Mexico, where it's like clearly some cameraman had to like come run down to their apartment and start filming. Where it's like, why are we not having a cameraman per couple filming the whole freaking thing?
Right.
Like
it's even if it's I don't care if there's a camera in the kitchen and living room,
right?
But or something. Listen, you missed the argument. We got to have a green screen or a recap to tell us where we're at. We should not have to put puzzle pieces together.
At this point, put a GoPro on their head.
I wish they wouldn't try. Yeah, and they're not to stop recreating the scenes.
Yes,
That's better than nothing, though.
it's better than nothing. But
or just tell me what happened. Like I'm just kind of like And there's also like even when they're retelling, there's tidbits missing, like with the Monica and Steven thing
or the nap.
I agree with Nina. I would rather have Monica get into a chair and then Steven get into a chair and have producer being like, all right, what the fuck happened? And have Monica lean in, vent, and have a producer help her get it out, so to speak, and have a producer help him get it out. And then when they cut it, just have a Monica and Steven back and forth telling their versions of the story.
Well, you can't get us invested and want us to follow everything along with this couple and then not want to include the really horrible parts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all got Marissa on her knees crying her eyes out. Like, y'all can get in there and ask people what's going on. Like, y'all not, it's not like you are, above it. So I don't know what's going on with the loops. It just felt like this season in particular, there were a lot. And I've been on Twitter and people have been really upset about just feeling like there's holes missing. Like there's vast holes missing. And it just makes no sense to me.
Do you have a favorite?
Oh, do I have a favorite? No, I don't.
Is there anything that could make you get back on the Ashley and Tyler train?
No. No.
Why?
Really?
Because I just kind of feel like this conversation, if the show knew and say she knew and they're editing it.
Who's she?
Ashley. Okay. So if the show knew and Ashley knew, they're saying like maybe there was a conversation that happened off camera.
Yeah.
Where he just didn't talk about it and they didn't include it in the show. Then to me, that's a betrayal to the viewer to keep that out. Or if he left it out, then that's a betrayal to Ashley from his part. So it's kind of like a lose-lose in my situation.
What if he told Ashley off camera and then him and Ashley together as a couple that was just more interested in protecting their relationship? Because I get what you're saying from a show standpoint, but I don't fault the cast members for not prioritizing us, the viewer.
Right. I get that.
The production,
for sure,
they need to prioritize us, the viewer, because without us, whatever. But I don't fault Ashley and Tyler if we find out that they were trying to protect their relationship and that maybe Tyler and Ashley had an understanding and she knew the full truth.
But she didn't know. We know from the conversation they had that she didn't know he had kids until after they were engaged.
Yes.
And so for
Yes.
me, that's a huge red flag.
Mhm.
And then just the little weird things like, I don't know what they look like. Like, that's a blatant lie. Like,
Yeah.
we know we've seen you in photos with the kids, but why not just say, okay, now if we're coming clean, you can't come 50% clean for a healthy relationship, in my opinion. So that's why I can't root for them. Happy for them. Listen, if you like it, I love it for you. If
Mhm.
that's what you decided you want to do, it doesn't look great for a marriage
Yeah.
to start on half truths. So that's my only concern. Is like,
That's totally fair.
yeah, it's
I
a
guess,
half truth.
but if I were to try to be empathetic to Tyler and
Mhm.
Ashley, it's just like I think this environment in which they agreed, they signed up for. They
Right.
certainly had an understanding of they're going to be in the pods and things like that. But as I always say, like, you don't really know what you signed up for
Mhm.
until you get into that environment. And we do know, while Tyler definitely lied, didn't
Right.
share, it sounds like my understanding is he eventually came to Ashley and said, there is something I need to tell
Right.
you. I just feel like I think these environments that these people go in happen so fast and so quickly.
Yes.
And I think their head is kind of spinning. So I'm willing to offer Tyler that grace
Really?
to be like, sure, because it's just like, let's try to have like a real life conversation.
Yeah.
I think almost the Garrett and Taylor of it all. That he got a text from his ex, right? And then like he got that text in the middle of like they're getting ready, they're on their way to a party. You ever happen where it's like you need to tell your friend or your partner something, and you're just like, no, like right now is not the best time because
Right.
it's like, oh, when do I tell him? Because if I
Right.
tell him now, and yeah, you want to tell him. And it's like you're not hiding it. You're not you know what I'm saying?
A text, yes. Babies?
No. I'm not defending
No,
it. I'm
I
just
know.
A
saying
little different.
when you're meeting in the pods, you're surrounded by cameras, and you're
Right.
just like, when's the best time to
Right.
share
But
this?
wouldn't the pause be the time to be
yes,
the most transparent?
Of course. I'm just like
I can't get over that.
I'm willing to understand that Tyler, why he made a bad decision, and why I'm
Yeah.
willing to like give him a little grace given the environment he's in without a single actual support system.
But what about when he still didn't come clean about, like, okay, he kind of skewed it in a way, like he still omitted information.
Oh, the lie about them not knowing what they look like?
Right. Like, well, just basically calling them sperm babies is kind of harsh when he's literally in their lives. And
to me, that gave, I wanted to tell you this off camera because it happened off camera, and they made him sit down and give us some context like they did. And it gave like Tyler not willing or feeling comfortable to give the show what they wanted.
Right.
And he spoke in kind of like that.
Right.
And then I'm going to assume, because they ended up getting married, that Ashley had whatever conversation she needed. And again, who knows? Maybe
who knows?
We've
heard from the baby mama. She's not happy.
She don't stop talking.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
she's all over the map though.
I mean, not that I don't know this woman at all. So we know she has receipts to an extent. I just think like this would be incredibly hard if I was dating him.
Mhm.
This would be incredibly hard for me to get over.
Yeah.
Like some things I think you can accept someone's apology for and move forward and also say, this was too much.
Mhm.
And for me as a viewer, I'm like, I'm not saying he's a horrible person, but he kind of did a horrible thing. And I think like, if we're talking about, to me, marriage is so sacred. I just kind of feel like this is inexcusable behavior. Now, this doesn't make this guy a serial killer. Like, I'm not saying we can't give him grace, but I am saying like, from what we've seen, because that's all we can go off of, right? What we've heard from the baby mama, it doesn't look great to get into a new partnership when there's so much like murkiness in the background. Like when you get married, I feel like you should just let's put it on the table. My credit is bad. I own these. Because his debt this woman is saying she's going to sue him. That's going to be Ashley's debt. So it's just kind of like, that's stuff she needs to know. And it's just, to me, is a little unforgivable to operate like that.
Do you think Vanessa and Nick will ask any questions about that? Do you think we'll get any clarity at the reunion?
I feel like Vanessa and Nick just looking at the pretty colors, child. I don't know.
No. Let's talk about our relationship.
Well, I mean, I just don't think.
But that's so us.
Yeah.
It's all she does. She just brings it back to them every time.
I just think they're so far. I honestly think they're so far removed from like.
They don't care.
Like I don't know if they don't care, but I just kind of feel like you can kind of tell when people get fed stuff from producers and when they're like in the thick of it. Because you have a different type of passion when you're in the thick of it and you're asking questions than when you're like being kind of prepped. I'm not sure how involved they are. I can't speak to that, but I feel like they just feel like, let's get this done. And like, this is a cute little show.
Yeah.
And we go back to our amazing lives. And I don't feel like I walk away with like, they got them. They got into it. Except for, I will say, when they brought up the text from the guy, Trevor, that I kind of felt like they got into it in the weeds. And that was one of the few times I was like, okay, good. We got something from it.
We spoke with Micah from a few seasons ago, season 4,
Season 4.
maybe. And she was there during that.
Yes.
She was in that live audience, and she was like, it was so hard to watch because they were like, it wasn't like, ooh, this is tea. It was like, this is like awkward and uncomfortable. And we're like coming at him at a really weird angle. So I don't know if their delivery, when we do get the tea, it's like, is their delivery
it's
and their
hard.
question? Yeah.
I had to do, when I did the Basketball Wives reunion, I had to play a secret tape. And none of the cast knew we had the audio.
Did you get dirty looks?
I just looked straight ahead. I'm gonna be honest, because I know the cast, and I had to drop an audio. Like Evelyn had an audio that she didn't know we got because she was still mic'd up and talking about Jen's fiance, and basically was like, she's not street smart. And I had to present this audio and her basically saying like, this is not a good relationship. We don't know what's going on with her. And her friend thought she was supportive of the relationship until that point. And as a host, I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is gonna be, I like them both. This is gonna be so hard. But I had to do my job. And so we had to do it. But in the studio, it was very uncomfortable. But when it was edited and shown to the fans, they were incredibly happy. And ultimately, I feel like my service is not to the cast members. My service is to the people who are watching, because that's who's keeping the show on air, and they deserve to know what's going on. And so ultimately, it's like, you know how it is. Like, you know what you sign up for to an extent when you do these shows. And so you might get, things thrown at you. So I just, I have an interesting perspective on it, but it is, to your point, like very awkward in person when you're doing it, but you got to do it.
Yeah. Did you think, going back to Alex and Tim, did you think Alex taking a nap was fucked up? Were you like, whose side were you on during that?
I didn't think it was breakup worthy.
Yeah.
I think Tim wanted to end that relationship.
I felt like they just hated each other.
Yeah, I just don't think they liked each other. And I think sometimes when you're in, it's almost like you want to see it through because you want to prove to yourself you can do it. But a lot of these people clearly just didn't like each other. I'm like, y'all don't like each other. You know,
and that's okay.
Right.
As soon as she was like, I hate that hat, and he's like, I'm buying this hat,
Right.
I was like, he wants her to break up with him.
Right.
And
Yeah. Like he also had this thing where I felt like he had to prove that he was masculine and this alpha dog, as he would like to say. And I thought it was very odd, but I thought, like, listen, if my new fiance's parents had just, driven several hours to come see us, am I taking a nap? Probably not. Like, I'm going to get some coffee. I'm going to make,
We're gonna power through.
I'm going to power through. I'm going to make sure that they're fed, they feel comfortable, make sure that they need anything. I'm probably not going to take a nap. I would probably, even if I was tired, just be like, I'm gonna thug it out for this because this is my first time meeting
Right.
you. However, like she told us, she was like, I get these bouts of tiredness and I don't know why, but sometimes I need to go. She could have been overwhelmed. The filming, it is like incredibly draining to meet new people filming, and she had to work. So I understand her needing it. And she said she took an hour nap. I mean, it wasn't like she went to bed and came out the next day.
Yeah.
I'm like, she took an hour nap while you was at the store. Like,
Yeah.
so, but I understand the frustration, but I side more with her on this than Tim, because Tim, to me, comes across incredibly just like very selfish. And I think he does things for the way it looks, but not because the intent is actually like pure. Like, it's like, this is what you're supposed to do, so this is what I'm going to do. But I mean, clearly he doesn't mean it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish he wouldn't have read that letter to her dad.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't have to go through with any of that
Right.
in the actuality of it. And it seems like he tried to break up with her in Mexico.
Right.
They rekindled.
That's what it
and
should have ended.
So for
That
you
is where it should have ended.
to commit to the
Yeah.
bit with the dad and everything, that makes me just not like him, because I'm just
Yeah.
like so unnecessary, and it's her first engagement. Like, don't take that away from like her dad, who might not even be here for her
Right.
actual engagement.
Yeah.
Like,
And at the time, maybe he had fooled himself into thinking that this was still something he wanted.
Yeah. I don't fault. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think they're just so caught up in it. And
Yeah.
every time they try to break up, I do think there's
Of
people
course.
saying, "Hey, listen, this happens," or let's see if there's something still there. Like just like also in any fight, you react, then you kind of calm down and you re-engage. So I think, would it have been nice for him not to do that? But I think
He was caught up in the moment.
I think he was caught up in the moment, and I think that was sincere of him to do. I think that's something he would want to do for the person he marries.
Yeah.
So I think he was just more caught up in.
But Tim had a lot of gestures that people just didn't understand, like giving her the bracelet from his sisters and like, you knew this. I'm not giving that up for, I don't know, you a week or two.
Yeah.
Like it just I feel like Tim has a list of what he thinks a husband should do. And he's just like, I'll do this. But is this really what you want to do?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like, I feel like he want to marry that dog. Like he always give the pictures and stuff. I'm like, you don't want to be with nobody but yourself.
And it's not as selfless as he portrays it
Right.
to be, because like that's why he reacts the way he does.
Yeah.
Because her napping is more about like, I did all of this
Right.
for your family,
Right,
and
right.
this was your response.
Right.
So it's extra triggering for him
Right.
because the things he does for his partner come with a cost. They come with
Absolutely.
make sure you do this for me.
Right.
Which a lot of people,
It did bother me that she had just heated up those wings and he wanted to have
Right.
that
She
conversation.
didn't eat all day.
And she hadn't eaten all day. And then they're sitting on the coffee table getting cold again.
Yeah. I just feel like there was no maturity in this relationship
Yeah.
from the way that they argued. To me, like if I love you and we have a misunderstanding, I'm trying to understand your perspective so that we can move forward. I'm not just trying to be right.
Mhm.
And with him, he was just kind of standing on principle. That's how you argue with a stranger. Like you don't argue with your fiance this way. And like the things they were breaking up over, I felt like the more like offensive thing clearly happened in Mexico where somebody put their hands on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That to me was a deal breaker. But if we're back in this and we talking about a nap,
Mhm.
And a
like-
text back.
right? And the texting, it felt a little controlling to me. Like it, and also like he's not willing to bend. You have to bend to him. And I never
Yeah.
like people like that, where it's like I have to be the one to adjust to all of your will, and you're not able to see me halfway.
Mhm.
Preach.
I don't
Ooh.
like that.
That was good.
We both got to get something out of it.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, next week we'll be getting some answers. I promise
I
you guys. that
hope. Well,
much.
listen, I'm excited for you guys because like I said, I'm not really excited for this.
We do
reunion.
have some good
you tease it?
interviews. It is someone that you
Dislike?
Yeah, well,
Well,
you dislike all of
no.
them. So yeah.
Yeah.
I like Taylor. I like Taylor a lot. Taylor slays. I like
Yes.
her a lot. And Garrett's hair, I like his hair.
His new hair.
You like his new hair?
I like
Yeah,
the new
you like
hair.
his blow
Well,
up.
Do
we
you
getting-
guys know I called this, right? I tweeted a side by side like a month ago that went viral. So I tweeted a side by side of his cast picture and the picture of him with hair.
You found that you
Wait,
got that
I'm
out.
the
You
one
were-
who did that. Yes. And I
Well, sorry for not
posted it.
crediting you.
Yeah, I'm not getting credit for it.
At
But,
all.
no, I posted it, and then the Netflix page posted it like a week later. But I posted the original one. It has like millions of views on it, and I did the side by side and was like, "This is how I know they got married."
Yeah.
And I
outta
literally
here.
put, "This is how I know they
I'm
got
gagged.
married because this is a wife glow up."
That is a wife glow up. You are
And-
100%
yes,
right. I
and-
cannot believe that Netflix didn't credit you.
I mean, I guess it's the perspective anybody can take, but I definitely posted
You found it first.
You found it first.
You
Definitely found it
You made
first.
the
You
side
found it
by
first.
side.
Yes, and did the side by side first, and you can check the receipts.
If
I
Getty
posted it
Images can
first.
come after you, I think you should be able to come after Netflix.
But I literally saw the hairline and was like, "Oh, this is a
Done.
married man's
Someone's
hairline."
cooked
Yes.
here.
Moving on from Love is Blind a little bit, Anina, I do have a question before you go. I'm curious your thoughts on celebrities clapping back, so to speak. Chappell Roan, Reese, have you seen this?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this? Because we love a clap back. We love being someone putting in their place, but like a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about Chappell Roan. She's on a red carpet. This is like the second time she's done this.
It's the same photographer.
It's the same one.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same photographer, Pop, from the Grammys event where she originally was like, you don't disrespect me like that. Same photographer at this event she walked up to was like, I recognize you. You disrespected me.
You
and
owe
then
But
you
then
owe
she
me an
already called
apology.
them out. Then
No, she just told him to like fuck himself or something on
At
the
the
first
first
red
one.
The first
carpet.
one.
This one she saw him and was like, no, you actually owe me an apology.
The first one she said, not me, not like fucking not me. So she was saying like, don't talk like that in front of me. The
Okay.
second one was her just like going up to him being like, look, I know who you are.
Mhm.
I
And
love
she-
that she's able to like defend herself. I just hate for her that like someone got to her.
Yeah.
and that, publicly she's out there
Yeah.
reacting. It's like,
Yeah. You know how it is, though. I feel like you're not allowed to be human
Yeah.
when you're a celeb. And the truth is, you're not.
yeah,
Like, the part of the game is you get to have these things. You get to have these accolades, the money, the attention, the videos, the
Benefits.
yachts, the private jets. And the one thing you have to do is control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And even when it's unfair.
Yeah.
And that's the downside. You don't have a ton of downsides, but you have a few. And one of them is you have to have self-control, because even if you're right, it still looks a certain way, because when you have, money and fame, people give you way less grace to be human. So it's like you got to pick and choose your battles. If this is a battle she chose to fight, okay, but if it's a pattern, people are going to judge her for it,
Right.
which is unfortunate, because how many of us want to see somebody in the street that disrespected us and walk up to them and point at them and be like, but how many of us do that, though?
Yeah.
How many of us see somebody we don't like and we just like, okay, well.
and it doesn't stop now, but
Right.
people are going to do it more to Chapel because
Because they know they can get
trolls
to you.
troll.
They
and
do
what-
it to
and-
Cardi B.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and when there's nothing a troll loves more than for you to respond to them and let them know you see them.
Right.
It
Right.
validates them.
And
Yeah,
what
It's like-
bothers me is there are people who will seek, like when she's out in public, there are people who will seek physical reactions from you because they know your weakness now, right? And they know you're going to do something. And people will seek you out. People are grimy.
Mhm.
They'll seek you out to do something. They want you to confront them and hit them or whatever. They can sue you. So
Yeah.
it's like if you let people know you have a thin skin, then they may react. But at the same time, I'm always here for a woman standing up for herself. But is it necessary to point out this? Like, what is his apology gonna do? Like,
yeah,
you
is it
gonna
really
see
gonna
him
make you
again?
feel better? Yeah.
Like, you gonna see, someone who does red carpets, like you see these people all the time. Like,
Mhm.
it almost becomes like work family.
and they are
and we don't even know who
aggressive.
this person is still.
Right. We still don't
But
know.
We just don't even know.
Those
Yeah.
photographers are aggressive.
Yeah.
They're demanding.
Oh my
they're
God, yeah.
aggressive. It's look over here.
Yeah.
It's look over here. It's smile.
It's
smile.
not personal most of the time.
No, it's
You
they're
know? They're just
doing
trying to
their
get the
job.
shot. I think people think red carpets are fun.
No.
They're actually, I have PTSD from them. Like, they're aggressive, they're crazy. You're being pulled in all kinds of directions. It's chaotic. So sometimes you have to understand it's not like they're yelling at everybody. They're just trying to get the shot. And also you're far away. So they're like, hey,
Yeah.
look over here. Like, and they're yelling next to people who are yelling next to them. So it
Yeah.
sounds more, to me,
White noise.
more aggressive than it is.
Yeah.
But I'm here for a class. I love a read.
Do we have anything more for Nina
I don't
before
know.
we
I
let
kind
her
of
go?
need to
Do I
stay
need
all
to-
day.
I would love to. I just appreciate you guys.
Can you come
spend
back?
Therapy. I'll come back. First of all, I live down the street,
Yes.
so I'll come back
You do?
anytime. But also, you guys have given me a therapeutic session of Love Is Blind because I needed to talk about this show with somebody.
That's what we're here for.
Well, please come back after the reunion.
Oh
and
my
so
God!
we
I'm
can hear.
listen. I'm waiting with bated breath for this reunion. I don't have high expectations. I hope that I'm proven wrong.
Selfishly, I love it when Nick and Vanessa lay an egg because that's when people come to us.
Totally.
I love to pick up their
You guys
slack.
should have your
Yeah.
own reunion.
We should.
I
have
would
our
We do
remember
our
that.
best to try to give our version of
You
it.
do a great.
Yeah.
You do a great job of, and I'm gonna be honest. This is just true tea. You guys do an amazing job of really just filling. I was gonna say filling those holes, but this is not that kind of podcast. But I just mean like filling the void
Yeah.
of like when someone really is invested in a show. And you guys do a great job of filling that void and just being like, oh, thank God, there's like something there. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And you don't hold back. So I love
Mm-mm.
that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
give
so
it
much.
to him in a gentle way. That's why you get away with it. You're not like aggressive.
No, Nick is good at like when there's a question that needs to be
Yeah.
answered and people try to dance around it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, that's all good, cool and stuff."
Yeah.
But my question
But
was,
it's a good, just as another host, like honestly, just to compliment you, it's a very hard to ask hard questions to people who, when you meet them, they're actually pleasant.
yeah,
Mhm.
And so what I say now is, I didn't like you on the show.
Yeah.
But I don't know you.
right.
But on the show, I wasn't a fan. I've had that happen actually a couple times with people in real life, and we've ended up being really cool. But it's hard to ask those questions. You do a
Yeah.
good
Because
job of it.
majority of the time when you meet someone in person, and I think people, behind screens
Right.
struggle with this. It's like when you meet someone in person, they 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10 you like them. They're
Yeah,
nice, it's
totally.
cordial, they're funny, they have a sense of humor.
Absolutely.
You see the person in them.
Right.
And so yeah, it is hard when you get them sitting on this couch to then be like,
back to this.
yeah. The
Yes.
thing that everyone hates about you. The
Yes.
thing that everyone hates about you.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
And that's why it's not easy to do something like this. And that's why you got to give a lot of credit. People think it's easy to have conversations, and it's actually not.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. It's
Yeah,
really nice of you to
just,
say. Yeah, I just
I like to get flowers when I can.
well, thank you. Well, I look at it too as just like, as someone who knows what it's like to go on these shows and be criticized
Yeah.
and not be able to kind of control your story. Like, these types of longer forms, like allow these characters to humanize themselves
Right.
if they're willing
Totally.
to allow us to get to know them and show that. And when people do that, people always have a different perspective.
Totally.
Like, I think sometimes we watch these shows expecting these characters to be something that they could never be. We want them to be perfect, and we want them to handle things in ways that honestly we didn't even know if we would in
Right,
those situations. And I think sometimes we can be a little harsh and critical. And I think when they come and sit on this couch, sometimes we can see ourselves in them and be like, well, yeah, actually, honestly, I was going to.
Yeah, that's true. And we're hard on reality. Like, reality is hard, to do. And that's why I'll never do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They would get me up out of here.
Us either, yeah.
I just don't have much patience for like the blaming of the edit, like the Ramses
Yeah.
stuff. It's like we know there's an edit, but
Yeah.
like your position on birth control and your ignorance around
Yeah.
periods, like that's
He's your least favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate a man pretending to be an ally
Yeah, that's what it is.
and being the literal opposite.
That's what it's like. I actually don't care if you're an ally or not, but just let me know where I stand.
Yeah.
And that's why it was so hard with him, because he tricked us.
And the and,
Yeah.
and birth control, that conversation on birth control and the conversation around period sex is the most ignorant and
Yes.
lack of giving a shit about your
Yeah.
woman partner. That again, like for someone who's married, it's
Yeah.
not like he didn't know better. He
Yeah.
just never cared
Yeah.
to learn.
Who knew I would have to side with Marissa's mom? That's what I'm the most mad at. He done made me side
I loved
with
her mom.
You did?
did.
I did.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan, but
I
now
love it. I love it when a parent doesn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I've seen too many parents.
be too nice.
Well, just like see the cameras and like become fans of the show, and then they're sitting with their kid who's like being kind of like in this experiment, being kind of emotionally like warped,
Yes.
and their kid needs them.
Yeah.
This is their first time they've had a support system in God knows how long,
Right.
and the parents are caring more about the cameras and because I know how it's like,
Right.
I actually love the parents, even if it comes across as like a little critical, a little harsh. I love the parents that can say like, my kid needs me right now.
Right. Like,
And I don't give a fuck
yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah, how
cameras.
this
And that
looks.
was Marissa's mom for me.
you always need somebody, a family member who don't care.
Exactly.
You got to have that in
Yeah.
in your pocket. So,
Mhm.
I appreciate
Well,
that.
Nina, thanks so much for
Oh my
coming. Where can the
gosh.
people follow you, find you, enjoy all the great stuff that you're doing?
Yeah, so all my socials are the same. It's the Nina Parker across the board.
The one and only.
that's where you can find me. And I also, just to do a little pluggy plug,
Please.
Plug
I
away.
have my clothing line at Macy's that people can buy.
She's wearing it
So
right now.
I'm wearing it right now.
it.
It's for the curvy girls.
We love.
So,
Stunning.
so it's if you guys, if you need elastic in your pants, I got you.
Yes, we all need a little elastic.
Thanksgiving is coming.
Yes, it is.
We love us some Nita Parker. So much fun. We should
No,
have her
she's
back.
so
I
great.
love her, yeah. What I didn't love though was Heather, Tamra coming after Emily's kids. More Tamra. Because were you confused by the situation too?
It seemed weird that Nally put it on. I was making dinner, and so I wasn't able to like look at every scene. And then I heard the accusation, and it just felt like, wait, what is going on? Why is someone blaming? I thought the kids were off limit. I kind of stopped what I was doing, burnt dinner, because I was like, isn't this like not allowed in the housewives world?
Gina's like soundbite being like, they're like 8 and 6. They have no concerns.
They're worrying
Like,
about what's in their lunchbox and what time
It
bed
was a
is.
weird thing
Fuck.
too, because Tamra was like, well, I heard Katie babysat Emily's kids, and Emily's kid said something to Katie's kid.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, Emily must be talking about Heather all the time.
Yeah, because then I was like, okay, are we mad at Emily right now?
I was like,
Who-
which? The
who are we
kids of the
mad at?
kids, and then the mom.
But then to find out, no, Katie's daughter babysat Emily's children and started talking about Heather. That is where this is stemming
That's where it
from.
was. But then even Emily was like, well, I shut that conversation down real fast, being like, no, we don't make those comments.
But even still, it's just like if any of the kids, whether it's Katie's child who's older, older-ish, she's even on the show, or if you have kids who are younger, like, of course your kids are going to think it's cool what your mom's on TV. It's like, of course they're going to talk about it. And what do these kids have in common? The ones babysitting, the younger kids, well, both their moms are housewives. They work together. Of course it's going to come up. And like, I just think it seems so fucked up that they use that as a way to like throw her kid under the bus, like, as if she's gossiping and starting drama.
And like the specific comment that they brought up was that the kid said she's mean to your mom, referring to Katie.
Whatever she said,
she's bossy, but it's like
should be off limits.
But it's like, so you're mad at what Emily's kid said about Katie, like, so it's like you're looping in people of that don't need to be involved.
It just feels like this was an episode of Tamra bringing things
to the table,
to the national television that didn't need to be brought to television, like along with the whole Shannon and Gina throwing Travis down the stairs. Like, it was clear that that's something Gina probably did not want to talk about on camera. And it's like, well, now you've brought this in front of cameras, in front of all of these women, and now this is something that like we have to talk about.
Yeah.
So it felt very much like a
Gina's reaction was correct, because you saw her on her face. She's like, really, we're gonna do. Is this how that went down? Because it's like Tamra is involved in everything, loves to throw everybody under the bus, but then claim that she's being this like good person by telling you. Where it's like, well, first of all, you engaged in the conversation. This conversation happened over a year ago. So why do you feel the need to bring it up right now in front of cameras?
And where were you involved?
Because you're an ass.
Yeah.
I am so Team Jen. I mean, she absolutely ate the house boots sleigh down. She
absolutely
killed it.
For the Tamra of it all, or
for
everything?
all of it. She handled this entire episode with such grace and such like standing on business. And Tamra continuously, what, is he gonna put a hit on me?
Yeah.
What, are you gonna hit me?
What is those reactions? That's
just victimizing herself while she's literally doing the dirty work. She takes zero accountability, zero responsibility. Even when everybody came at her being like, she's like, what, we're all gonna gang up on me? And it's like, you're throwing accusations out at the dinner table. Then when everyone's saying, hey, no, we just want you to take some accountability, it's everybody's picking on you. So you can pick on everybody when you feel like everyone's got your back. But the second people are like, hey, look at yourself. She's like, stop bullying me, you guys.
It's the word choice she uses too. She uses very strong words that become very like legally blurred. Like the hit on me, the like participating, the victim blame, like all of that's like, these are words you can just.
There was that part when she was like, you hurt my feelings, and that really like resonated with me after her like recent kind of.
Can't feel empathy.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like publicly being like, I don't know how to feel empathy, and all of a sudden. But guys, I just want you to know that those words really hurt my feelings. And I was like, wait, I'm sorry. Again, I don't know how it all works in her world, but.
Even the spin where it's like, that Shannon's trying to break up her and Jen's friendship, where I'm like, you've done this yourself for the last 2 seasons. Like literally throwing this woman under the bus, throwing her boyfriend under the bus, throwing out wild accusations, and then sitting there being like, no, it's Shannon for showing this text message, trying to get involved to break up our friendship. And it's like, you're doing a great job yourself, but you want to take zero accountability for that?
I did appreciate Gina standing up for
Me
Shannon,
too.
being like, I would like you to stop with the alcohol thing.
Yeah.
After Tamra goes, you're a liar and a drunk.
Yeah, and she was like, stop that right there. Let's just not.
That's enough of that.
And the bit is done, Tamra. The bit is done 10 episodes ago. Like,
but that's what I was going to say. We're not even talking about her alcoholism. We're not talking about her DUI. And yet you're still feeling the need to throw it in there to make your point. And it's just like, no, you don't even fight like well. You know what I mean? We're like, oh, well, I have nothing left to say to you. I know that I'm under the attack, so therefore you're a drunk.
That's what I said.
How about
it's
that?
the word choice.
Yeah.
She's going to choose violence with the word she uses. It was funny, too, to see Shannon and Heather talk, and then Heather being like, we never discussed it being like, I can't bring it to the group.
Like,
and then the flashbacks were
I
literally...
didn't even need the flashback. I remembered.
I remembered it
saying
too. And then the flashback was, we don't have to bring this to the group.
But Jen was on point. She's like, you gotta pull your head out of her ass.
Yeah.
Because Heather is like Tamra's #1 supporter, but I also think Heather's watched Tamra do this to so many people that she's like, I'm staying in the background. That's my best friend.
You really think Tamra might be put on pause next season? Do you think her job's in jeopardy?
Honestly, people hate her this season. And there's just like, usually when you have a villain of a season, there's still something that's like endearing or something that you're kind of rooting for or some growth. But like, after 18 seasons, like, this is Tamra.
The thing is, too, Tamra is one of the OG people to be put on pause. So Dorinda coined the pause term, but like, Tamra was
originally,
original, and then she literally was removed until season 16?
She probably took three or four seasons off.
Yeah,
I think.
And then she was brought back for a full-time cast. So it's like she is one of the OG pause people. So it's like they can do it once, they can do it again.
Did you know everything that happened in the etiquette class? Would you have passed that?
Absolutely not.
I wouldn't have either.
What would I have passed, do you think?
Do you break
Of-
the bread rolls with your fingers?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you do that
You would
part?
have passed that.
That was like the most simple one there.
What was the one that was most shocking? You're not supposed to like butter your bread or
Butter the whole piece of bread,
The
only
whole
the
piece
bite
of bread,
that
and you're not supposed to cut with the butter knife.
You just put one
either.
butter one at a time?
One bite at a time.
For each bite,
Doesn't
essentially.
that, and then we have our own butter?
You have a butter knife and you have like a knife. So you're using the butter knife.
But like, is it our own butter? But if it's like,
It's your own butter.
okay.
They didn't
Because otherwise
specify
it would
really,
seem like a
but-
double
Nice.
dip situation.
That would-
Oh, that's a good question.
Well,
Yeah.
so I wrote some of them down. So it's silverware on the right, back not touching the seat when you're sitting. So it means you have good posture if you're sitting up. Index finger flat on the silverware, and then you break your rolls with the fingers, and then the butter.
I'm not one for table manners per se, but I gotta say, I feel like as a society, we've really lost our way. Maybe we need to bring back some
Some etiquette.
table etiquette.
Do you put the napkin on your lap at a
Yes.
restaurant?
Yes.
mean,
I don't
it
do that
falls.
one.
I do it
So-
for Nick when he.
Yeah, and then it falls, and then like 2 seconds later, it's like, "Where's my napkin?" And I was
He's
like, "It's on the
mine's-
floor."
and he's mine. He's got mine.
Yeah.
I don't do this one because what are you supposed to do when you need to wipe your hands? You're wiping your lap now,
Pick
No,
it
you-
up.
and then you
Huh?
put the dirty napkin back onto your
You
clothes.
wipe the inside
Well,
of
you're
it.
supposed to
Yeah.
like get
Wipe
the
one
crumbs,
side
you
of
know,
it.
like
I like it to be the dirty to be like not next to me.
So how are you eating?
So
I
where
eat
are the
over the
crumb-
plate. I'm not messy. I don't throw it everywhere. You know.
Mm.
Do we think Shannon was telling the truth about Tamra being involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
in the
Yes.
I felt like that situation was very much like when I was younger, my sister would be like, I dare you to sneak out. Like, I bet you won't sneak out. And then I'd sneak out, and then she'd go tell my mom, Natalie snuck out. And it's like, but you didn't tell mom that you're the one who dared me to.
My sister's
You know,
done
like
this to
you
me.
were involved in
Mhm.
this. And it's like Tamra and Shannon doing things together, and then Tamra going to the people being like, it was all Shannon.
Retrospectively,
when
yeah.
you initiated it.
Mhm.
Because I don't even think that like looking up information is like all that. Like if Shannon did Google or find some tea on Gina, like even if it were true.
That situation speaks louder for me because Shannon was literally like, you knew more about it than I did. You were talking about Gina, not me.
Yeah.
So that gives in Shannon participated, and then like to Natalie's point, it was like then she got thrown under the bus.
I believe Shannon because her response, again, who knows about editing, it seemed like she didn't like look up to the left. She didn't pause. She wasn't like, she didn't seem like she got caught in a lie. She was just like,
Confused.
no, I mean, she wasn't even confused. She was like,
you
she was like,
did
Well, that's what I
this.
meant. Like,
Tamra, like, really?
Yeah.
She was so calm and so like, really?
To Natalie's point too, I'm like, I can very much see Tamra being like, you need to have all of your ducks in the row for reunion. You should know this about Gina. Be ready to go. And then Shannon's like, okay, cool. I'll have all of this stuff. She didn't bring up one thing.
Yeah.
And she was actually feuding
And
with
we
Gina
know that
season.
she's willing, that Tamra's willing to like set up, I guess, anyone
Burn the
because a
bridge.
couple weeks ago, Tamra is trying to throw Shannon under the bus for spending money on gifts that we know she didn't pay for. And Shannon's talking to the audience as if Shannon's wasting her money on things she can't afford when clearly that's not what was going on. So Tamra has proven to speak on things that are just blatantly false in order to throw her co-stars under the bus.
And did you catch this was Shannon's birthday trip, right?
Mhm.
Tamra was the one that held the birthday cake when they came to sing it because Shannon walked away. And I was like, girl,
Oh, I missed that.
I was like,
Mean
that's
girl.
some petty behavior.
Tamra was like,
there."
don't let
'Cause
me.
Shannon was like, I'm done. Like, I'm actually done.
Well, we are excited to hear all of Shannon's thoughts and feelings about all this drama. She is on Reality Recap this Thursday. You will not want to miss that. Up next, Chandler Kinney from Dancing with the Stars and Pretty Little Liars is with us to talk about her time on Dance with the Stars. Let's get to Chandler. Chandler, welcome.
Hi.
So excited to have you.
I'm so excited to
How
be
you
here.
been?
I've been good. I've just been dancing my pants off.
Dancing your pants off. You
Yeah.
were very good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Nally and I, my wife who couldn't make it today, we went and we were very impressed with your dancing.
Wait, what week did you go?
A couple
2
weeks
weeks ago?
You were there for the Tarzan, right?
No.
Oh,
we
no, for
missed
the
turn.
backflips.
We were there when Joey and Danny did backflips.
Danny, yeah,
that
the
was
war of
that
the
week.
backflips.
Yeah.
What was it though?
What was the theme?
Oh, hair metal. Oh, Gene Simmons.
No, it wasn't. No, it was when Rosie
Soul
Perez.
Night. Rosie Perez.
Where she was the
Soul
celebrity
Night.
guest.
So
Was it-
I
is it Soul
quite
Night?
literally danced my pants off that night.
Yeah. I didn't want to say.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you, everybody. I'll be here all day.
Has it been a really fun experience,
It's
or
been-
nerve-wracking, or both?
All of the above.
Okay.
It's been incredible. Like, I don't think that there's any experience like it. which makes me sad because I don't want it to end and it's slipping away so quickly. But yes, also incredibly nerve-wracking. I think my anxiety is at an all-time high.
Are you an anxious person?
Yeah,
I am.
I in the last couple years I tend to be. That's kind of my homeostasis. So
Are you anxious?
Not
No.
really.
Do I?
I get nervous before things, but
You
like
don't
for the
ever
most
seem
part,
anxious to me.
because I think it's a like mental state of mind, and like at the end of the day, this is going to end at some point. So
Well,
That's
yeah, but like
true.
I have.
that's true.
So what's the point of stressing?
I'm definitely like an emotionally strong person, but like I don't know why. I just sometimes I feel like my chest is gonna explode. I don't.
Well, you also internalize. You get like quiet and like we're like, all right, Nick has left this planet.
Mhm.
But like for the
It's
most
a
part,
problem.
Unplug.
you can also do
Yeah.
anything and you're fine. So
How long have you dealt with that?
Honestly, just like the last couple years.
Oh.
Really,
Welcome.
like, yeah, well, happy to be here.
Was it-
Hope to not stay for long.
was it being chased around by a serial killer
You know,
for
had
a couple years?
something to do with that for
Did that
sure. Yeah, you know a little something about that. Yeah, no, Pretty Little Liars was a very intense shoot. And honestly, I do think it kind of started around that time. But it was hard all around. It's like a tough show that's super dark and you're like embodying these characters that are literally like in life or death situations. So living in that world, and then also we filmed in upstate New York where the sun just doesn't shine during the winter months. So it was I think that's kind of was the seed. And then, just a lot of just life. Life was lifing. But
you've
yeah.
been a performer for a long time.
Mhm.
How has Dancing with the Stars been different than what you're used to, or is it kind of par for the course?
It's very different. I have never really done live performance.
Yeah.
So that is its own thing. I think as an actor with a lot of past experience in TV and film, you get really comfortable with the idea of there always being like another take if you really need it. So if you flub a line, director calls cut, you go back to one, it's fine. That doesn't exist on Dancing with the Stars.
No.
It's a live show. And not only, as an actor, you're like just focused on the person that you're talking to in the scene. Psychologically, like it's just you and your scene partner. And yeah, there's a crew of maybe like 100 people, but that's still it still feels pretty intimate on a soundstage. In the ballroom where there's a lot of people, and then you also know that the cameras are broadcasting that live to millions all around the country. Yeah, that's just a lot for the brain to take in.
The live studio audience freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I had reality TV experience before I did Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
And like it's on TV, but
Yeah.
just like you're kind of used to cameras being around, different than acting.
Right.
But like when I walked out week one in the live audience, I
There's
was like,
no edit.
I'm not prepared for
There's
this.
no
Like the
edit,
energy,
there's
it was
no
just
cut.
like there's no cut. People are watching you. It's
Yeah.
just like I honestly didn't even think about it being broadcasted. It was the live audience that like really got in my
tripped
head.
you up.
Yeah. It was a mind fuck for sure.
The other thing about it too is I am really comfortable with bringing other stories to life. Like as an actor, that's all I do. I tell other people's stories. I have a lot of like comfort in that space of like not being out in the front like that. It's my character. I put it all on her. And Dancing with the Stars is all about you and like people getting to connect with who you are and telling your own story. And I'm like, where's my script? Like, what am I supposed to say?
It's probably more vulnerable, right?
It's incredibly vulnerable. And so I think that's been one of my biggest challenges. I think especially in this season where there are so many people that their like quote unquote rise to fame has been as themselves, So they're very comfortable, like I think existing in their own body in that way for others to perceive.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Well,
Good point, yeah.
it's a challenge too because Dancing with the Stars is still reality TV.
Yeah.
And like as a reality TV star, they are commenting on you, the person, but the challenge is you are still a character. You're whatever version the show wants you to be or how they portray you, and that's the challenge. There is like they're commenting on you, but they're commenting on what they think you are or how they perceive you to be.
Right.
So that's the mind fuck of trying not to let that bother you. Like as an actor,
100%.
you can, I'm assuming, completely disconnect from the character and being like, they're talking about a character. I didn't write the scene, It's
Yeah.
like-
I mean, it's still like there's still this like very deep like synergy, I think, between you and your character because it is like your emotions that are it's just a different vehicle, it's a different vessel. And so like when people talk about the character, I don't take it as personally, especially like on Pretty Little Liars. Like my my character, her name is Tabby. She's a cinephile. She like loves movies, and every other sentence she was like quoting a movie. And some people didn't love that. I mean, I was like, Queen, she's
I love
like
a
a
movie
walking
quote.
encyclopedia. I
Thank
love that. Thank you. Try 10.
I still like movies.
A scene.
I think men are very movie quote people.
They
I
are.
feel like
That is
I don't
true.
know.
So true.
Like
Glad she was popular with the guys.
Oh no.
I loved Tabby.
No, I thank you. I do too.
Yeah.
She's very near and dear to my heart.
so when you're not, entertaining people and acting, what do you
Mhm.
love to do most on your free time?
Oh, isn't that a scary question? I'm honestly like learning that. I discovered like a year or two ago that I didn't really have that many hobbies because just as a child actor, you like it's so consuming and like
Yeah.
all encompassing. So that was a bit of like a quarter life crisis for me. And then I realized it was actually affecting like every area of my life. So I was like, I need to get a life outside of the job. So I'm still like pretty artsy. I'm so grandma. I like to scrapbook. Yeah, I love it.
cute.
It's like not only because I'm such a collector, I like will take like if you were to give me like a napkin and it like had a like your logo on it, I would keep it and scrapbook it. Like I keep
We'll give you one.
everything.
Yeah, we'll give
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys have napkins?
We have cards.
We have stuff.
I'll take the
Yeah.
card.
We can
I'll
give you
take
some
the
stuff.
card.
Yeah.
And I'll go in my scrapbook. But yeah, I think that's kind of like an artistic endeavor. Like I like to be like tactile. I also love to bake. Love.
That's a talent. That's hard.
It's like what I love about baking is that you can actually there is a mysterious magic to it because I feel like you can tell what kind of mood you're in based on
Okay.
the result. Or maybe I'm just
Well, baking
a
is
bad
'cause
baker.
baking is a science.
Baking is a
It's
science.
yeah,
chemistry.
because cooking, like I love to cook.
Yeah.
And you
same.
can kind of like, I'll try this, and I'll fuck
Yeah, yeah,
around
yeah.
with that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
blah blah blah. And if you know how to work yourself in the kitchen, it can usually turn out. Baking,
Yeah, different.
you gotta
There's an
do it
art.
right.
But you
have to
saying that
know
there's
what
There's
an
you're
an
doing.
art and there's a science.
Yeah.
You saying that there's a magic to it means that you're good at it
Oh.
enough to mess up and have it turn into something.
So what is your go-to when,
So-
if you were gonna impress us?
what
What would you bring in?
It is fall.
Oh.
Forget about this. Let's not put any pressure on. Let's
Turkey.
No, I
Baked
feel like this is
turkey?
turning
I guess
into
you
a
don't
real
bake that,
thing, but
but-
I need to come back and bake for you
Bring,
guys.
bring us something.
Well, I mean, I would do like a classic pumpkin loaf if like
There
you're
you
in
go.
like
Oh,
the
that's
fall
good.
vibes. But I do usually do like a chocolate chip cookie. I feel like that
Okay.
is like basic, not basic, but like it's classic.
Yeah.
You believe you
know.
stand by your chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, I'd put my foot in that.
Okay. Yeah. My mom makes amazing chocolate chip cookies, and then I posted about it. And what I learned by posting about it is everyone
Makes good.
has an opinion on their chocolate chip
Oh
cookies.
yeah. It's a very like personal thing.
Yeah. They're like, you need to do this and this. And I'm like, holy shit, can I just enjoy my mom's? Or do you have a secret sauce for your cookies?
Well, yeah, but then I
Okay,
wouldn't
we
be
don't
a
wanna
secret
share.
if I told you.
Do you put salt in your cookies? Because I learned that's a thing and that elevates any
It
cookie.
does. Yeah, I do.
There you go.
I will
A
I will
salty
disclose
cookie.
that. But not too it's like a very delicate
pinch.
balance, but it helps like it's so interesting. Like there's certain ingredients that you can add that like help bring out other flavors. Something that I will give you this. You could try this at home, folks. I do do a little extra vanilla extract.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. It just I don't even know how to
Makes it better.
describe it.
That's
It just
when I
makes it
make
better.
pancakes and French toast. It's always like more. vanilla.
Yeah. I always will hold the teaspoon and then I just
Yeah.
purposely,
Just like
let it
oops,
waterfall. I'm
you
like,
know, like-
oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Yeah. So
It's
no,
like
I
that
love a
one
good
video of
chocolate
like
chip
one
cookie.
shot of vodka. Have you
Yes,
seen it? But
yes,
she like
yes,
just keeps
yes,
pouring
yes.
it.
One shot. Yeah. No, that's me. With vanilla extract in cookies.
bacon. Pie or cake?
Okay. We've stumbled upon a hot topic. Like I have a hot take. I don't like pie. Okay.
I also
Thank
don't.
you very much. Okay.
For the
I'm in good
record.
company.
Girl, I like pie.
I like pie
can
and I
leave.
like it.
The only pie I'll eat is
And
like a
there's the door.
chocolate, like a chocolate mousse. But I don't eat
Okay,
baked
so
fruit.
here's my thing with pie. No, that's a good point. Chocolate mousse pie, okay.
Fine, yeah.
Even like
But it
pumpkin
tastes like
pie,
cake.
okay. I can take a little slice of that at Thanksgiving. I have a weird thing with hot fruit.
Yeah, same.
Me too.
Fruit
And
should
it's
not
mushy.
be hot, and it's
Yeah.
mushy. Like why? Why?
We're all on
I-
the same page.
The reason I
feel
like
like
an
the
apple is
very-
for that crisp crunch or that freshness of the orange or
Yeah.
whatever the fruit is. I don't
Yeah.
need a warm fruit is like, how long has it been outside?
Yeah.
Y'all,
what
I'm feeling very attacked right now.
Listen, you are
mean-
among friends. We are the outsiders. You know, like people
That's true.
listening are shaming us to
Oh,
death.
100%. Like
People
I
are
know
weird
that
about
this is
pies.
we are
Like,
the
people love
anomaly.
pies. I'm
People,
like,
it's
whoa.
an American like
Yeah.
thing. You know, it's
It's a
what we
staple.
have.
It's what you bring.
American
Something happens, you
pie.
bring a
Weirdly,
pie.
weirdly,
Yes.
people like shit on cake. Is this because like they, you know,
Do
they,
they?
had, they had too
Much.
much sheet cake, which by the way is kind of my fave.
Sheet cake, a classic Costco sheet cake. Are you
The
kidding?
best.
I tap out of that one.
No.
You could taste the
Why?
chemicals.
Okay,
you can
the group
taste
is
the
getting
chemicals.
smaller and smaller.
Well, listen, when I eat cake, I am not like worried about my figure at them in that moment. It's like I'm eating cake.
But like you
Right.
taste the dye. Or is that just me?
okay,
Yeah, like, I
no,
get
but
it.
I'm back with you
See?
because I'm not a big like dye person.
There you go.
Like, and especially with baking, the darker the color, the more bitter the icing
Oh, I
is
didn't know
because
that.
you have to add more food
Color,
coloring,
yeah.
and so it just makes a bitter taste.
Mm.
So I just love a classic buttercream. You know,
Didn't get behind that.
keep it simple, sweet and simple.
Speaking of pie,
Yes.
have you been to Apple Hill?
No.
Because I realized we're twins.
Yeah, we
So like
are.
in the sense of you're from Sacramento.
Yes.
Me too.
Oh
You went to UCLA. Me too.
my God!
So literally the same people.
Bruins!
But where
Yay!
from Sacramento are you?
Okay, well, so this is so sad.
You're not actually.
Maybe we're not twins, but we can be like twin flames.
Because I'm also not technically from Sac.
Okay, what do you mean?
But I say Sacramento.
But were you born there?
Kind of. I'm from Antelope. So like Roseville.
Okay. But you grew up in Sac.
But I grew up.
Okay, see, I was born there and I moved like before my first birthday.
To where?
She didn't remember.
To here. Like
Oh.
down
Okay, so you
SoCal.
cheated the system. Do you still say Sacramento?
Girl, I was 9 months. I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, take me away.
I was gonna say because like there are people that make it out of Sacramento, which is like few and far between. And there's like Brie Larson, Jessica Chastain are like
Brie
and
Larson's from
Saweetie.
Sacramento?
Yeah, and
Oh,
Saweetie
wow.
doesn't claim it, but she's from
Okay.
Sacramento.
Oh wow.
But it's like
I'm in good company.
so it's
I'll
like I
take
mean
it.
you made it to LA.
Yeah.
You were 9 months, but you did it.
But I did it.
Yeah.
I think I did that.
Yeah.
And I did when I was 9 months old.
Do you
Who can
guys
say that?
remember your first memory? Or like what age you were when you started remembering things?
I think I was 3.
3-ish, yeah.
Is that like
Yeah. that's right.
how old were
I was
you?
thinking about the other day. I have a 9-month-old.
you.
I feel like younger, yeah.
Younger?
I feel like I remember a lot. I don't know when it happened though. But like I had to be young.
I
you
was
know?
thinking about the other day because I have a 9-month-old River, and it's just like we're enjoying her so much doing those activities,
Aw.
and it's just like you're not gonna remember any of this shit.
Nope.
You know,
But
it's like
the-
your first 2 years of your life, blank slate.
The weird thing though is you don't know like when that first memory
That's what I'm saying.
is
So it
gonna
could be
come in.
earlier.
And you kind of just have to like keep showing up because you
Oh,
don't-
Yeah, no, I'm a great dad. It's not like I'm like, oh, you won't remember me. I'm just gonna disappear.
Close your eyes for this one.
I'm like, yeah, you
No,
should.
I have great memories of being around her. I wish she
Yeah.
would. It's like a
Yeah.
weird thing knowing you don't even remember any
Yeah.
of this.
But it does make a difference on like a psychological level, you know? Like there's a lot of studies about like kids that were not held at, you know, a really, really young age, like as young as like 2, 3, 4 months. And although they don't have like clear, tangible memories that they can like grasp onto, it still is like a part of their upbringing, you know? It still somehow like ingrains itself in like the makeup of the human, which is really interesting. I love psychology.
I was
Well,
gonna
at
say,
the
if
UCLA,
you
I
studied
studied
psychology?
psychology.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a
Really?
big people person.
You're a North
Okay.
Campus.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
a North Campus galley.
If you weren't
Oh,
an
I was-
actor,
actually,
Were you not?
if you weren't,
no, I just have a funny story about that.
Okay.
what's the story?
Oh well, no, I was just so I was majoring in psychology, minoring in TV and film.
As everybody does.
Yes.
AKA me too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so literally twins.
Okay. Oh,
you
so
guys
then
have the
you
same
know it well.
majors?
So like I did like my GEs, like I had to start in Lacrette's, which was like the most South Campus.
Yeah.
I also did a Fiat Lux in the botanical gardens because
Okay,
I'm
bougie.
nature girly, and so I would start my mornings the most South Campus that you can get, which like is just like it's a big. I would walk a big triangle every day, and so I'd
Okay.
start there. Then I'd go to Lacrette's for my like science, whatever. And then I would have to walk all the way to North Campus.
When
to
I'm glad
Melnitz.
you're saying this because going to UCLA probably prepped you
Yeah.
for Dancing with the Stars. So people say UCLA stands for University of Calves, Legs, and Ass.
Yes.
Because you walk so much and the campus is like up and down and
Ooh, I
up
was
and down.
I was fit. And then you
Yeah.
have to go all the way up to the hill at the
Go
end
back.
of the day. And I was up at the top, like
So,
hitch.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That was Reaper Terrace. So,
Okay.
also
So
top.
you know the walk.
Yep.
If you weren't a performer, what would you think?
A therapist.
You'd be a therapist.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do with the last chapter of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you'd be really good at it.
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I mean, well, like you're good at, I feel like seeing people.
I hope so. Yeah.
Well,
People-
I feel like
people
that's a
to
quality
say.
that you need, like
Yeah.
in a podcast. I mean, I feel like you pick up on things and then you're like, well, let's talk about that. And I love to talk. obviously I'm a certified yapper.
Are you the friend that people go to for advice?
Yeah, and I love it.
Who do you go to when you are struggling with your personal relationships?
My mom.
Your mom.
And so my mom has, you're uncovering my whole lore. My mom has her master's in clinical psychology.
Okay.
She was actually going to get her doctorate. And then I popped out the womb and was like, I'm going to be a performer. And so I kind of derailed her career. It's fine. She still loves me. But yeah, she's pretty epic. She worked as a therapist.
How are you at taking your own advice?
Decent.
Okay.
But I think that it's always harder when it's
for sure.
yourself,
You're not
of
you're,
course.
it's always easy to give advice with you're like, I don't give a shit about the outcome.
Yeah.
You can see things more clearly.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're not
100%.
emotionally like connected to like how it plays out. You know?
Yeah.
So you can kind of you can cut through the bullshit.
100%.
What is the most common dating advice you give to your friends?
Oh, well, it varies, I feel like it depends on what you want. I have some friends that are just in there like out and about, in these streets
We're
phase,
outside.
which I'm like, we're outside. And I'm
Yeah.
like, be outside.
Exactly.
Be outside.
Touch some grass.
Enjoy
Yes,
it.
touch some grass. But then also like I have friends that are in like long-term committed relationships, and that's like a very different conversation. So it does vary. But
What
I
do-
love being the go-to person, and I love relationships. I love love.
How's the love for you?
Lacking. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm a single girly.
Okay. Are you enjoying the singleness, or are you kind of not anxious, but looking forward to like meeting someone or your person, or you're kind of
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'm young, I'm thriving, I'm working, if someone shows up, great, but if not,
Yeah, more the latter.
Okay.
I think I love like when I'm in a relationship, I think I love to show up. I love to love on people and
Mhm.
like give and pour into another person. But also I'm not like I have friends that describe themselves as like I'm a relationship person. Like I feel really anxious if I'm not in some sort of like attachment. And I don't necessarily feel that way because I also just love to be busy. I keep myself quite occupied. And so I think I get fulfillment from so many other things that I do in my life.
As a single person braving the dating world, when you
Mhm.
do date, what is something that you find a constant theme with single men out there that you would love to see some improvement on?
Improvement.
Yeah.
She's like, well, let me pull it out.
Like, let me pull out the
Scroll.
The scroll. Ooh, I don't know. I feel like this is what I've learned. This is the biggest thing that I've learned, I think. You can only meet someone as deeply as they've met themselves. And so I think traditionally, stereotypically, men evolve a little bit slower. And I think it would really benefit people to, I think, sit with themselves, whatever that looks like for you. I think that can be different for everyone. And get to know, what who they are, like what they want out of a relationship, like what their boundaries are, what their triggers are, where like areas for improvement for themselves. And it doesn't mean that you have to have it all figured out. I think that is a big misconception that at least like I've seen in like guys in their 20s, which is all that I can really talk about, is that like, there's so much pressure to have it all figured out. And I'm like, I don't think that's what people want. I think it's just that you have to identify what you need to work on. And if you're doing that alongside a person, like how beautiful is that?
Yeah.
So,
And also being able to be self-aware that it's like you can have that conversation with your partner, being like, okay, well, this is what I'm working on with myself. Or like, if I do this, this is why this happens. Like, I think 100% that it's like knowing yourself and knowing what you're okay with and what you have to give and sometimes what you don't have to give.
100%.
Then I'm like, that's the transparency where I'm like, there's room to work together in a relationship.
Yeah.
But it's not this like, oh, you need to be this perfect person for me to be this perfect person for us to have a perfect relationship, because it doesn't exist.
It does not exist.
Do you think young men these days, because like a lot of people for our Ask Nick episodes, people call in and ask for relationship advice, and
Yeah.
it seems like there's a general theme of like a lack of ambition with younger men. Do you think that's accurate, or like almost as like younger men feel maybe more discouraged, or they just like they don't know what they should be doing, they don't know what to do, so they just play video games?
I feel like it's like kind of on a spectrum, because I'm like, I feel like there's either that version of 20s and like dependency and needing somebody to help take care of them. But I also feel like from what I see from a older perspective looking down, I'm like, oh, okay. Like I feel like every 20-year-old is like trying to become a tech like a big tech person, or
in LA specifically too.
the most successful, have the nicest
Yeah.
car by 23, have a house and a mansion. And it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, whoa, when I was in my 20s, I was just trying to be okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm also like, I feel like there's this like weird pressure that they're like, oh, I can't do a relationship because I need to become the next Steve Jobs. And it's like, who put that pressure on you?
Right.
You know?
100%. I think, there is a pressure to do it all at once. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that you're setting yourself up for failure if you're setting that expectation for yourself. That's just never going to be the case, because that's not representative of life.
Mhm.
And so, but that's interesting. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I feel like, I don't know.
just a random
I had
question.
a lot of thoughts, but I
you-
didn't say any of them.
You seem like a very enlightened queen, very patient,
Oh,
very emotionally mature. That
thanks.
being said,
Oh.
Here we go.
He's like, but
Wait.
do you have any like icks that you're just like, it's superficial, whatever, but like what are things that like a man might do where you're just like, absolutely not?
It could also be as shallow as chewing with their mouth open. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be like deep.
That's more like,
That's an ick.
but that's like a human. That's like a duh.
yeah,
That's what
true.
I'm saying.
It's like you being rude to a waiter. Of course.
Oh yeah. Well,
that's-
that is. I mean, maybe that's not like an ick. I think you're looking for something more specific.
Yeah,
but that
ick-
is definitely like a big turnoff when I think like when people are rude to like
Yeah,
people
for
in
sure.
customer service. Like specifically that, I'm like,
I have. I've been really fascinated by the ick phenomenon, and I've tried to like figure out what it is, and I think it's all centered around effort with men.
Oh,
Mm.
that's fair.
When I say effort, I don't mean like, obviously women I feel like want to be made a priority. You want to know like a guy wants to make the effort to show he cares. I'm
Mm.
talking about like physical effort, in terms of doing anything physical. So like a guy has to make everything look easy.
Mm.
And if he looks clumsy doing something that, like from a physical standpoint, if he like stumbles,
Give an
or
example.
trips.
Give a specific example.
like, doing the dirty dance thing,
Oh.
light and feathery. Or maybe if he's like, he drops something and he goes to pick it up and he has to do like it effortlessly.
Do you feel like that's like an unspoken societal pressure that men are facing today, like in
I mean,
today's climate?
I think in general, like, yeah, it's like women want it. It's like, it's all centered around, it's supposed to be easy to, I don't know. It's like, you can't do anything physical and make it look hard. Otherwise, it's like an ick for women. They're like, ew.
Like you reaching for something on the top shelf, just like
I don't know. I think effort.
Yeah. Like, and
I
if
think
like if a
effort
guy
looks
was
great.
reaching and he was like trying to get it and he couldn't, I think that would be a huge ick. You're like,
Pull out the ladder.
like a guy on his tiptoes. You'd be like, absolutely not.
Heels on the ground or
Right.
we're done.
showing fear with spiders. That would be a thing because that's like my scary thing. That I'm like,
Oh,
if
yeah.
Connor was like, "Oh, you get it," I'd be like, "No,
Can't.
this will not
No.
work."
No,
This
Connor
will not
gets
work.
it done.
Connor gets it done.
we
Thank
love
you.
Connor. That's
Yeah.
funny.
If it's like, if he's like carrying groceries or like coming from Home Depot, he's carrying, and if it looks like heavy, he's supposed to look like
Yeah.
it's not, it's easy for him to do. And
But
if it
I
looks
will
really
say-
hard,
I will say that effort also can look really good.
effort in terms of like putting effort into himself
Yes.
or his career or the relationship. Of course, we love that effort. I'm talking about just like,
like, oh, this is so
Like a-
heavy.
like just trying, like living life. Men are supposed to walk through life as if it's
Who
like,
said what to you? That's what I'm trying to figure
it's
out.
not.
Where is this coming from?
It's coming from
Do you have
observing
something
my
that you
audience.
need to unpack?
Well,
okay, here
now
it is. Here it is. No, let's talk about it.
It was the
The car.
The car,
Yeah.
It was
Tell the
something
story.
specific. I could tell. What is
well,
it? What
no,
happened?
I asked my wife,
Yeah.
of like, have I ever given you the ick? And
Yeah.
she told me, and I didn't know this at the time. That I gave her the
So
ick.
this was a
because
shock to you.
She swallowed it and kept it inside.
Oh.
But apparently, we were driving and we hit a bump, and I like just lifted up off the car seat, just
It was a roller
ever
coaster.
so much, and she didn't. And apparently, that gave her an ick.
She's very observant.
Like,
okay,
we went over a
so
bump, and
to
I was
me,
like,
I'm just like, that's a gravity thing. And if she defied gravity, then like go off Alphabet Queen. Like
Right.
slay. I didn't know I was sitting next to Cynthia or Revo. Like,
no.
okay, she defied gravity. She ate that up. You don't need to internalize that.
no, I'm fine.
Are you?
No, it's not me. I'm just trying to understand
No,
the
I
ick.
mean, we understand
Because
that you're
like the
trying to
the
understand
ladies have a very specific, it's also, yeah, it's not
I agree. I'm telling you, didn't worry.
Like men can't control the icks. They don't even know they're doing it. It's just
And
these.
men can't control gravity either. So I feel like you can sleep well
Okay.
tonight knowing that is
There's
not
got to
an
be something a
expectation.
guy did once that you were like, I don't know why that turned me off, but it just did.
I'm trying to think.
Have you had an awkward date?
Everyone's had an awkward date.
Yeah. But I feel like that could be a start.
You know what's funny though? I like really haven't gone out on many dates. Like I'm very specific with the way that I get into
Okay.
relationships.
No, that's valid.
I'm like, let's like have a little group thing. Then you can kind of like pair off within the group. So there's less pressure that
Less
way.
pressure.
You're a
You know what I
cold open
mean?
girl,
A cold open
like a
girl.
soft open or whatever.
Not a cold open.
Not a cold open. That'd be
Wait,
wait,
what is
that'd be
that?
like a one night stand almost. I suppose.
What is that terminology?
I just made it up.
Oh,
I was like,
I
cold
was like,
open-
wait, I love
But like
this
you know when a
Cold
club,
open would be
when
out
a
of
club
nowhere.
opens up and they do like a soft open,
Soft. It would
you
be
kind of like
soft.
work into things.
like a
Yeah.
soft
Yeah.
launch type
Soft launch,
vibe.
yeah.
You're saying that the safety of being in a group, but like also there's not that pressure of one-on-one. But like if I don't like you, there's there's other people that we can
No
still be
harm,
hanging
no
out with.
foul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
what you're trying to say is that it's like not this like pressure one-on-one date. It's like you like to be in a comfortable setting and work
Yeah.
your way up to it.
Yes.
Versus
Yeah,
it
yeah,
being
yeah.
like, hey, we're sitting
I'm
down.
a slow
Slow burn.
That's
You
what
want
it
to
is.
see. You want to see
burn.
how they interact with other people.
That's a huge part of
Yeah,
it. I'm
yeah.
also someone that like, yeah, I think like physical attributes are lovely. Like I think people are lovely to look at. You know, I think like I love personality as well. And for me, it like literally will play a trick on my eye. Like I can find someone way more attractive if, yeah, they are kind to the people around them and are considerate and empathetic and mature. Like I think I kind of almost need that quality as well in order to even entertain the idea of like anything. But I'm so like I'm a long haul girly. Like I kind of just don't. I think it's because I don't feel the need to be in a relationship. Like I feel really secure on my own, so I'm not like looking.
Where
for
did
it.
that independence come from? Because it's not a common for most people. You
Yeah,
know,
I
think
don't
like I
know.
think when we get into our 20s, we start feeling like we're supposed to be with someone. So
Yeah.
but most like I didn't get comfortable, and maybe it's because I'm a guy, but I didn't comfortable with like being okay with being single until I was like 30. You know, where I was like, I don't think I need one, a girlfriend, I guess. Yeah, where did that come from?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean,
I'm sure having a mom
I was
so
gonna
far in
say-
psychology also helps like identify why you're feeling the way you're feeling, or when you're coming home from like high school in a certain way, like being able to describe what's going on and
Yeah.
have somebody be able to like professionally be like, no, like you feel this way because of this, or like understanding yourself better. While I feel like most of us get that from our peers and
Mhm.
people who are
Yeah.
also figuring life out at the same time and also guiding people down the wrong direction because we don't know. So
yeah.
I'm like, I do think having a strong person in your corner that like understands psychology to the fullest
Yeah.
could really be helpful.
I think you're right. I think a lot of, I mean, like I'm 24, like I've been in my 20s for 4 years. It's rough out here. It's a scam. But
Facts.
yeah, there is a lot of like looking for yourself in others.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not sitting here saying like I have it all figured out because that is far from the truth. But I do think, yeah, my mom helped a lot. And just like growing up basically in therapy, like I didn't even realize
Yeah.
that, you know, but I think she just taught me, she equipped me with so many tools that I carry with me today. Also, if we're gonna psychoanalyze myself, my parents got divorced when I was like pretty young. I was like 12, 13.
Okay.
And so like my mom, my dad moved. And so my mom she did so much, like she carried so much. And so I think having a strong, independent woman, just like to look at, you know, I think, and she kind of moved with this independence, you know, and she had to. And so I think I could probably,
Did your
like,
dad
you
moving
know.
affect your relationship with him?
yeah, I mean, I think it was hard because I was so young and he was still working. And so it was just hard, like just lack of time
Sure.
together. But no, he's still, you know, in my life, and he's still, you know, a great person. We're just not as close because we don't spend as much time together, but he's awesome and has always been supportive of me. And Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Growing up in the entertainment industry with like everything that like obviously we're finding out now later on, like of how things on, like what was your experience being so young on sets and like working as an adult, like adult hours with adult co-stars? Like what
Yeah.
was that like growing up?
Strange.
Yeah.
I think it's strange looking back at it through an adult perspective.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, it's all you know, so you don't know any different.
You don't question it.
Yeah, and I think there's been so much like with certain movements and like even the double strike of last year
Mhm.
that like I'm now looking back and reframing so much of like my childhood because I'm like, oh, like that's not just show business, like that is like I was gonna say exploitation, but like I didn't have a lot of bad experiences, but just like some of like the things that I think when I was really really young before I even really got into like more of the stuff that I've done in the last like 8 years, I would say when I was like first starting out, there was just a lot of stuff that was weird that you're like, how did that even fly at that
Right.
time? So
Was there any specific one that comes to mind?
I can think of like specific experiences where like I was okay, but they could have turned out completely differently, like just I'll give you an example. Like I was up for this movie and the final audition was like the 5th audition for producers and director, whatever. It was at the director's house and I was sitting in his living room and I got called back to the audition room, which happened to be in his guest house. So you like leave the main house, you like walk through this like patio and garden, and it's like 2-3 minute walk that's like away.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the hills of Hollywood, and then I was like in a completely different like guest house on my own with just the director and the casting director,
Right.
and it was fine. I was fine.
Right.
But also I have so many friends that have had completely different situations. And so, but that's a thing now SAG doesn't allow. You can't have auditions in private locations.
Yeah.
But exactly that, the fact that it took this long, where
Yeah.
it's like if a boss, like a CEO or whatever, was having meetings and whatnot and that be reported to HR, it's like you're fired.
Yeah, there's no
Right.
checks and
Yeah.
balances there.
And I
There's no
was-
safety.
I was
Yeah.
literally like 11 years old.
Were you by yourself or like was your mom in
My
the,
mom was there,
at the
but my mom
house,
was in the living
the
room.
main house?
And
Yeah.
she was kind of like, this is weird, but this is a big Hollywood production and a big Hollywood director. And like, so I mean,
Yeah, and it's all kind of like this is normal and this is how it's supposed
Well,
to
that
be,
is-
and it happens fast. And even if like parents are kind of like, "Is this okay?"
Yeah.
like you're
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It almost happens before you have a.
But you're still in
chance
an
to-
audition.
Yeah.
So it's like she needs the job. So you're also like, I don't know if I question this. Am I going to
Yeah,
fuck things
yeah.
up for her? But then
Yeah.
at the same time, like, why can't I go with her?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's weird. It's weird.
It is very weird. But I am lucky I overall had like a pretty good experience as a child actor. A lot of that was my mom just being around, But yeah, definitely have seen some weird stuff. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
What was being your favorite dance?
Ooh. Oh, it was either I think the cha-cha, which you saw, and it was so much fun. Because it was just so upbeat and like catchy song. We did It's Tricky by Run DMC.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I had tearaway pants.
Iconic.
So that was kind of always a dream. But also the one that I just did this past week, which was it was
Paso-
Disney Night, Paso Doble, and I
Mhm.
did it.
That's a cool
to-
dance.
It's a cool dance. And I did it to a song that I sang for the Disney Zombies franchise.
How was that?
We Own the Night. It was so much fun.
I saw your co-stars
They
were there too to support.
Yeah, it was so sweet. Meg and Milo came into the studio that week and it was perfect timing because I had had a really hard week prior. So I was really in my head and kind of self-doubting, and just to have people that have known me for so long
Mm-hmm.
be there and encourage me and uplift me. I was like, okay, you're right. I can do this. So it was really fun.
Because Carrie Ann made the comment about you needing to dig deeper, and you
Yes.
said that really got to you.
Yeah.
Is there a specific reason as to why? Are you more of like a perfectionist, or did that affect you in like more of a personal way?
Yeah, I think there were a few things. And I honestly like, and she even said as much in a different capacity, like that I think she would have phrased it differently. I think it was more like the word choice
Mhm.
that I kind of rubbed on a little bit because one, and this might go back to the psychology thing. I was like, oh, I think everybody emotes differently. And so I just didn't want that to be called into question because my excitement or fear or anxiety or whatever, elation can look differently than the next person.
Right.
So there's that. But then also I was like, this was a dance for my mom. And I think that in and of
she said it
itself
on the
was
dance
like,
for your mom?
yeah, I was like,
Like, I am digging deep.
dug really deep. It's
I
my
was like,
mom.
okay, I guess I'll
it's my mom.
do what I think you mean by that, but okay.
I think it would have been different too. You know, honestly, maybe from the get-go with that, the creatives kind of were working against us potentially. That being said, I wouldn't have done anything differently because that was the song that my mom played for me growing up. It is the song that she dedicated to me, and like I have it so deeply associated with my childhood. And it is a happy story. Like we're still really close.
Yeah.
Like nothing's happened. We've been through a lot, but really it was just, I think it might have been like a creative difference. I think they might have expected it to be emotional, which maybe they were primed for that because the night, there's a lot of pressure on dedication night for it to be emotional and like heavy. And there is a lot of that. For example, Danny Amendola, he did a dance, a contemporary for his coach who had passed away. And
Right.
that was really heavy and it was beautiful. Mine was a celebration for my mom and like the love that she exudes. And I think they might have wanted something different, but also if I can yap for 2 more seconds.
Please.
I really had to do some digging after that. And I realized that I think it was less about what I was feeling, more about how I was portraying it.
Mhm.
My performance history is TV and film, which you are never thinking about the perception of emotion when you're acting on camera. That you're dead in the water if you do that as an actor.
Right.
Really, you're focused on what you're feeling and the circumstances of the character and let that work on you to give you the result.
Mhm.
But you should never be result oriented
Right.
or focused. So I think that is a very specific medium that does not directly translate to theater, stage, live performance. In that capacity, you know, the person sitting right next to the stage should have the same performance experience as the person up in the rafters. And so that's a different level of like externalization of emotions
Right.
that I think I just didn't take that extra step to do, if that makes sense. There's almost like an exaggeration to it.
That makes sense. If I may,
Yeah,
being the reality TV veteran that I am,
please.
going for the rest of the way, sometimes
Yeah.
the judges just say things
So they're creating storylines.
because they know it might irritate you.
And I'm here for that.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
They want to see how you're going to respond.
I'm here
It's
for
like
that. And I'm actually glad that we're talking about this because and that was part of the reason why it got in my head because I was like, maybe I just don't have the personality that like exists well in a reality TV space because I tend to be nonplussed. Like I have a very healthy mindset that I've worked really hard to have. I'm not quick to personalize things or internalize them deeply. And so I think, yeah, maybe there was
Like if they know you care,
yeah.
they want to test that.
And I'm
They-
happy
yeah.
for that because I also do think that there was a narrative that was starting to swirl online that I had nothing to improve on, which I'm like, that could not be further from the truth.
I was going to ask you about that because a big part about Dancing with the Stars is the progress the stars make. You know,
Yeah.
like a Danny who like shows up and he's just like, I play football.
2 left
I
feet.
don't have 2 left feet.
Yeah.
Someone like you who's like, let's be honest, you're very good.
Yeah.
You know,
Your lines are crazy.
Yeah.
You're so long and so graceful, so beautiful. Had to throw that in there.
so is that
Thanks.
something that like, how have you tried to, I guess, work against that, or has that gotten in your head? Because
Mhm.
I think it can be a challenge for people who go on the dance floor, do very well, and then almost feel like the judges are treating them a little different
Yeah.
than, say, a Danny or a Dwight, you know, or someone like that. How have you worried about that, or have you felt that pressure?
I hadn't up until I think basically that week. And because people said online, not that I try to spend too much time in the comment section, but like
You're
I'm also
human.
human and
Yeah.
I will look and I care
Mhm.
that going off of like what the judges were saying, like lack of connection, like, oh, I didn't feel drawn in. And then on the other side, you have people that were like, I was sobbing. This was so
Fully supporting.
emotional. Yeah. So like you're going to see the myriad of opinions, and that's fine. But for the people that I'm a perfectionist. I like always go for the slam dunk, and I want it to be a sure thing and to be undeniable. And so when I saw that there were a group of people that, you know, didn't feel connected, then that felt like, you know, like raise the alarms, because that is my job. Like that felt more personal because I am a storyteller for like my career. That is literally my like livelihood, to be a storyteller. Like, and so that is where I think I started to like, that kind of started to eat at me a little bit. And I was like, I need to figure this out.
You're pretty competitive.
Yeah, I'm very competitive. I love games just in general. Like I love video games. I love board games. I love card games. So all my friends know, yeah, don't mess with me.
Or be on your team.
Yeah, be on my team. Is
Are you-
it?
are you a sore
Be on
loser?
my team. No, no, I'm
I think
not.
every super competitive person, which I am myself, has to learn at some point. Hopefully, it's younger to
Pull back.
lose graciously, or
Okay.
what is the saying? Win with humility. I don't know if there's a saying.
There is a saying, and I know
Gracious in defeat, humble in victory.
it. Yeah,
something like that.
yeah. That sounds right.
There's it's
Gracious
gracious in
in
victory, humble in
victory, humble
defeat,
in
or
defeat.
something, or it's the opposite. I'm not sure.
No, I think you're.
Be humble in victory and gracious
Gracious
in
in
defeat.
defeat.
Yes,
There we
yes,
go.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think every competitive person has a moment where they weren't gracious and they had to learn to be.
Yeah, potentially. I
Yeah.
mean, I would be lying if I said that.
I remember
a game of
playing baseball
Monopoly.
once, and I struck out, and I took the bat. It was like Little League, and
And you broke it.
Boom. And my dad walked up to my coach and said, "Take him out of the game." Yeah,
Good dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a sore loser, but I think I'm kind of a sore player, which like I like to like talk smack. Like Connor and I watch Jeopardy at night, and I'm just like, all right, you ready to lose?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, oh, are you gonna play? Because
Well,
I
that's
just got
intimidation.
5 in a row.
We love-
I love that.
love
No, like, you know, that's just part of the game.
But then afterwards, I'm like, it's okay. Maybe next time.
It wasn't that serious.
Yeah, it's not that serious.
You'll get him next time.
As a performer, in terms of entertainment, as a consumer,
Mm.
are you a fan of any like trashy? We love trashy television on the show. Do you? What do you watch when you're vegging out, or do you even watch much TV at all?
I don't watch a whole lot because I have little time, but I do love a good reality TV show. But I am behind, and I'm so sad about that because I would love to talk about it. I love Love is Blind.
Oh, you do?
I do, but I haven't watched the new season. I'm still on the
Catch
last
up.
one. I'm at the weddings. I'm at the weddings. But don't tell me what happens.
We won't
I
say
literally
anything.
don't
We don't
even
know.
tell me what happens.
It's a
I
good
know.
season.
I will avoid their social medias. Like I scroll past headlines because I'm that invested. My mom and I watch it together. But
Do you-
yeah, I've watched all the last.
Do you think Love is actually blind, or can be?
Yeah, I think it can be. Do you think otherwise?
For me, I would say no.
I think it's individual to the person.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that show. I mean, listen, there's a lot more than looks. A lot more.
Yeah.
You know, what? I'm just saying. I've met a pretty girl or two that I was like, nope.
I am just envisioning like where I'm like, oh, like.
What?
Just like if you came
In the
out of
pods
like, yeah, like
and-
he's like professing his love, and
No,
then all
I
of
would
a sudden
honestly
the
be
doors
like,
open, and he's
no,
like,
absolutely
no,
not.
so
Never mind.
you like he would be like the most hated person just because
No,
he
I
would be
would.
the one person
Well,
that couldn't.
You would
make
see
it.
it on my face. I'd just be like,
No, but that's like you see that on the show.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it makes me so.
not the word.
But I feel like people try, like you know what I mean,
They
because
try to
they
hide
have
it.
that whole thing where they're
Yeah.
like, well, we did connect in the pods. Like I really want to give this a chance. Maybe it's not like my first choice. Nick, on the other hand, would be like, yeah, nope, everything that happened in the pod was
I'm
real.
good.
We're
It's
off.
like, no.
Wait,
can't
so
do
who's
this.
your favorite so far in this season?
She's not
Well,
watching
I
this
haven't
either.
watched this
She hasn't watched this.
season.
No,
either.
no, but like the season you're watching.
Oh. Let me think.
Put her
Let
on
me
the
think.
spot like that.
I really like. Okay, well, I feel uncomfortable talking about it because I don't. Everybody knows how it ends, and I don't.
It's okay.
But I do really like the They're like the cute Amy, and Ginger Boy with the curls.
Johnny.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cute.
I
Yeah.
forget which one. Which season?
You called the boring ones, the ones that like have a very healthy relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I mean,
They have a really healthy
They
relationship.
have a healthy They
Yeah.
like talk and she.
communicate.
They communicate.
Solve their problems.
Yeah,
Boring.
things
No
come up
spoiling.
and then they talk through them, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God. And, like they had the whole conversation about birth control.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
you remember?
Yeah.
You're like, give me drama. Okay, well, so the drama of that season was like, oh
Jess.
man. Well, the Jess
Yeah.
and like the
Uh,
Jimmy and
Megan
the
Fox, Chelsea.
Megan Fox and
Which
No, there's-
I gotta say, I met Chelsea in real life.
yeah.
I see it.
Yes, I
She-
see
I
it
see
She
it
too.
looks like
Star,
Megan
yeah.
Fox.
No, I see it too. I just think maybe the way in which she said it, like,
Yeah, no, she was set up
spun
for
him
failure.
off in a
She was set up
completely
for
different
failure.
direction. But that's what I was thinking of when you said like there are people that come out of the pods and like have I was thinking of his reaction. And shout out to Netflix because they really like milked that moment. I felt it in my gut
Yeah.
because they had that like crazy zoom out and he looked so small on the on the screen. You know what I'm talking about? And then they played this like horrible violin that was like and he was like, she does not look like Megan Fox.
Did
As soon as she said that in the
Dude, you were
pods,
on
they were
camera.
like,
What
yes.
are you doing?
He also mixed up her name, right? Wasn't it? Like he said someone else's name.
Well, I think he said
Jess.
Jess at
Yeah.
one point, and I was like, homie,
Someone left that in.
you need to get your act. Yes, they left it in. I was like, y'all are messy.
Messy.
He said, yeah, I'm just so happy to be on this journey with Jess.
With Jess.
I don't know where that came from. Yeah, let's take that back. I was like, homie.
They did leave that in.
Yeah. That was a good
Like,
season.
but like him like directing himself, being like, okay, actually, let's take that back.
Yeah, cut the cameras. I was like, buddy, they are rolling. You are mic'd.
And you
It is
said it.
on, and you said it,
Done.
and it's done.
Oh, that was a good
Reality
season.
television's scary.
good.
It's
So
scary.
good.
Yeah, it's a good scene. And then the guy, I just like finished the homie that like
Ashley.
really screwed over my girl, and then jumped on the vroom the jet skis.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
what's
with
going
the other girl?
on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, they broke
What's
up.
What was?
going
Yeah, they recently
on?
broke up. Yeah.
Yes.
What's the name?
Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah, they're the
Jeremy.
Hawaiian-
Hawaiian shirts.
Jeremy.
Wearing them just to spite her. I was like, oh, come
Yeah, that
on,
was
Jeremy.
wild.
It's always the Jays, man.
Yeah.
It's always the Jays.
Josh,
Stay
Jeremy.
away.
What's the
Yeah.
most toxic boy name?
A Jay. It's
Yeah.
a
I
Jay.
mean, my name is a J name, so
Are you toxic?
I don't think so.
But you're
That
like,
sounds
So don't
toxic.
test me.
you are
I don't think so.
the only
You're different.
exception. Yeah. Or Nick, you know.
Nick?
That too, yeah.
I feel like Nicks are pretty good. I don't know a lot of shitty Nicks.
No, Nick is like solid. It's a
Yeah.
nice, like one syllable, stable guy, you know, Nick.
Chad.
I was gonna say like
Ah.
Braxton.
Yeah, what's a
Chad.
frat,
I feel like
bro
Josh.
name?
Yeah, that was.
Josh is our chop.
Chad. Josh.
Yeah, Joshes get a bad rep. They get a bad rep.
Because they're always like the cool guys in high school. And then
Yeah.
Josh, a lot of fuck boys.
Well, Josh is just such a cool name.
Yeah.
And then I think they know it.
You know?
So they
Mm.
run with it. But I know good Joshes.
Chandler, how can people vote for you?
People can vote for me by texting Chandler 10 times to 21523 on Tuesdays. And you can also vote online 10 times.
Can you text and vote online?
You can do
you
both.
can do
So that's a
20. You
total
get
of 20
votes.
votes
Okay.
every single week.
All right, well, vote for your girl. One more time that number.
21523 Chandler. That's CHANDLER.
And and then what's the website?
Oh, I don't know that.
Dancingwiththestars.com?
And ABC. ABC.
Well, I want to say it on air so people can.
Well, I know that-
Dancing with the DWTS vote.abc.com.
Okay.
DWTS vote.
And that will be tonight.
ABC.com.
Tonight.
Yes.
Woo!
That will be
Vote,
tonight.
vote for your girl.
Voting
Yeah.
is
Wait,
now
is
closed.
this like next week? Is this
This
like
will air Tuesday.
this too? Oh, well, let me just say something really quickly. So last week I won immunity from the dance-offs because I was top of the leaderboard,
shit.
but that does not mean that I am immune from elimination. And I just want to be
What does
very
immunity mean then?
well. I know, and I'm like, why are we using the word immunity? This was my question as well. So throw out the word immunity.
That's one way
because
to get your ass voted off. It's
Right?
like, oh, I
Literally,
guess we
I
don't
was
have
like,
to vote for Chandler.
Who is trying to set me up?
Right.
Who did I hurt?
Can we
I was
redefine
like,
that?
I'm like,
Well,
yeah.
but no,
so,
seriously, what does immunity mean?
Okay, so there basically I get a pass. Let's call it a pass on the dance off because there's 7 of us. So that's an odd number. So the person who was at the top of the leaderboard last week, which was Brandon and I, get a pass from doing the dance offs. We still do our own dance. Everybody does their own dance, and then the rest of the couples are going to do a dance off. Brandon and I will not be doing that. We get the extra points as if we won our dance off. But we could still very much go home. So we need
shady
the
as
votes.
fuck.
I know, you guys, please vote.
This needs to be made into a cut down so that they know, the people know.
Yeah,
Vote-
you
vote
can
for
even
your
put in a
girl.
double time, like, at the end.
We're releasing it today.
Yeah.
Make sure you know next week for Chandler.
Yeah, please, please, please. I think people are confused because the word immunity should not have been used.
No,
Anyway,
oh my God.
thank you so much. Love you guys.
Chandler, it's
very
been so much fun.
This has been a blast.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
Good luck
you.
the rest of the way.
Thanks.
We are rooting for you. Hope you do
Thank you.
great. There's
Thank you.
a great cast left. You guys got some stiff competition.
I honestly don't know what's going to happen at this point. It is that
Lots of
stiff.
fan favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
100%.
voting for Chandler.
Okay.
Only.
Ooh,
All
you
20
heard it
votes.
here first. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
DWTSvote.abc.com.
Hey, let's go.
Chandler.
Thanks, guys. This is so fun. You guys have the best energy.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Nina Parker, Chandler Kinney, and all of our guests who grace our presence. Do not forget to tune in tomorrow for a very, very nostalgic episode. Jaleel White is with us to talk about his life as Steve Urkel. If you grew up watching Family Matters and TJR Fridays, you grew up with Jaleel White on your screen. He has a fascinating life, and he's here to talk all about it. That is tomorrow on Going Deeper. Plus, again, we have Shannon Beador on Thursday of Reality Recaps, and Danny Amendola is with us as well. Do not miss that episode. It's a great week. We'll see you then. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.